Wait, there you go. Takes a second to actually go live on YouTube. I always forget about that part. All right. Well, it is indeed a bit of a track blazer waiting room. It's really not a good idea. I mean, I guess it can work, but we have, like, if it is the 12th, we have quite a bit of runway, right, between the start of Mant and the start of Pisces Cup. So it really is quite a bad idea to be doing any ace runs right now unless you still don't have your Aquarius team ready, which I mostly do. I definitely could improve, I mean, everything I've got, but I'm happy enough with it. So I think what we're going to do instead, not that we ever fucking play the game on this stream anyway, I think what we're going to do instead is I want to just take a look at Pisces, take a look at the track, think about what's good, all of that, and then do some poll planning, because I don't know. Playing the game, ridiculous. Who the fuck does that? Finishing the tier list? I did forget about that. We do have that to do. We do actually have to do that. I deadass forgot because I didn't get to do it on Thursday. You know what? Yeah, no, we totally should do that, shouldn't we? That's real and true. We can walk through Hanshi and 3200 real quick. Yeah. We should do that. That's true. Hanshi and 3200 though. Let's see. What do we? It's weird that it goes all the turf tracks, and then I guess it's because it's outer to inner. It says, yeah, the laps are literally different, right? Yeah, the first lap is a lot longer than the second one there. This shit starts on a straight. Is this... A very important question for this is... When Mant comes out, are we getting a patch? The way that we did when Alharu came out. Are we getting the first anniversary patch with Mant? Maybe, maybe not. Honestly, I guess I'd say it's a very important question. The main reason that would be nice would be, well, for a lot of things, but also the Bofa buff would be nice, right? Otherwise, you're gonna have to end up. It's a little funky sometimes getting your second recovery here, because the problem with this is it is not just a 3,200 meter track. It's heavy conditions as well, which I believe. I don't remember where that table is, but that increases your HP consumption, right? Heavy conditions, soft conditions, things like this. So it really, like, this is a real nightmare. There's some actual genuine stamina requirements here that you can't skirt around as easily as we have been able to for most of the other CMs, even some of the long ones, right? Like the Kikasho and stuff like that. Minus 50% power and 2% extra HP consumption. Yeah, I knew about the, well, wait, it's minus, it's more than minus 50 power, isn't it? I think it's minus 100, is it not? Oh no, it's minus 50. Oh, it's minus 100 on dirt. Yeah. Where does it mention the extra HP consumption? Any knowers? I do recall something like this, though. I just forget where the actual table is in the HP section. Wait. HP consumption. Yes. Yeah. It's just the kanji here. Oh, so it's not any... Okay, well, it's not any worse than soft. I guess that's nice. I don't know why in my head I had it that it was even worse than soft conditions. But no, not really. It's essentially the same. Sure. Okay. Yeah, so anyway, you actually do end up needing, even with a lot of wit, because there are two 400-meter downhills, I think, on this track. 395. No. This is... Oh, what the fuck? This is 595 meters, this first downhill? And this one is 400, or the second downhill, and this one's 400. Guts build might come handy, yeah. We're looking at 1k stam plus 2 gold recoveries as a rough baseline. I mean, maybe. I mean, we can go check right now. Obviously none of... Oh, yeah, none of these are quite ready. Let's, it'll depend heavily on the strategy that you're using too, right? Because, like, if we just, let's say we grab a gold ship, right? End closes are probably going to be the most common. She doesn't need any of this, certainly. Reset. They did add some extra quality of life stuff here, which is nice. Sure. Let's say something like this, though. This is a tragedy, right? It is used late as a baseline IMO, but end works too. Why would you use the people who need the least stamina as a baseline? You know what I mean? I feel like end is a nice... They don't use that much. That much more than late, but It's nice to have the baseline be something more in the middle, I think. Plus, the default runner here is probably going to be an end closer anyway, so it's the most... Because late coefficient is 1.00? Yeah, but that's not the default coefficient. That's the best coefficient, right? The HP conversion. Just how my brain works? Sure. I guess you could then... You could then do some backwards math on how much HP will be needed for the other strategies a little easier. But I'm more so just doing it off trial and error here. Alright, anyway. This is a travesty. I don't know what... Like, I mean, first off, if you're getting to 1,200... Let's try 1,000. If you're getting to 1,000 stamina, you're probably getting like 550 or 500 guts just off of the stam clicks, right? Let's even be a little... let's be a little scared here and say 500. I mean, okay. I will say, as far as power... Right? This is a real son of a bitch of a track, you know that? Like this, thank God that this is happening post-Mant, so we can really just hit significantly higher stats a lot of the time. Because we need to get past the diminishing returns points for power as well, which is hard. Like that's like 800, 900 power, right? Well, not 900, but like 700, 750 power. So like trying to get your speed, your stam, and your width while also getting just enough power that the uphills don't turn you to dust, is pretty tough. It's a lot of downhill with max trust. No, I know, but I'm saying the real reason that this is a son of a bitch track, right, is because it's it's in fact the longest long, right? So speed has never been more important, right? You're taught like even very slight variations in top speeds are going to absolutely get you like blown the fuck out because you're at top speed for like, I mean, dude, I don't even know, right? Like the late race starts at 1,067 meters. It takes you like, there's not a lot of amazing accelerations that are available right away here, but even let's say you have like 0.3 extra excel or something like that. It's probably taking you not much more than like 8 seconds to accelerate, right? Which means that you're, and maybe less too, right? Maybe less, maybe more, but at least you're at top speed for about, you're at 900 meters, right? 900 meters over, over 20, over 23, over 24. Look at this fucking shit. Like you're probably at around 24, right? You're at top speed for like 38 seconds. This shit is absurd. Like if someone is 0.1 meters per second faster than you, 0.1 meters per second faster than you, they'll beat you by a length and a half if all else is equal. Like, that's a lot, man. It is, like, so speed, right? Speed is, and downhill speed boost after Excel. Yes, well, but that's, again, there's not really, we're talking about speed here. That's not going to factor, your speed will not make you any faster on the downhill. So, speed has never been more important in its entire life, right? Besides, like, Gemini Cup. So you need like max speed and distance S, like on the mediums, on the miles and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, you can get away without it, right? You don't need like your speed to be maxed, but it really is every extra little bit of top speed you can squeeze out here is a big deal. Especially if you're playing Kita-san, right? I understand. I've seen a lot of people talking about Kita-san is gonna be the fucking second coming of Jesus on this track. Maybe I'm a hater. I'm thinking about a 0.5 Excel, genuinely. I'm thinking of a 0.5 Excel on a frontrunner, and I'm like, that's Saiyan Sky popping a little better than Saiyan Sky popping Girl, to be fair, but usually it's not on 3,200, and she gets run down a lot on longs, right? Like, especially if you're running a front or anything with a bad coefficient, you're gonna really need that. Well, if you're running a front that isn't Kita-san, literally, what are you doing? But you're gonna really need that. You're gonna really need that top speed. Saiyan gets ran down on longs, yeah. Even like, Saiyan is the only frontrunner I've ever seen do anything on longs so far that's like reasonable without a Suzuka rocket strategy. But I've absolutely seen a Saiyan pop her ultimate and still lose, right? I mean, think Saiyan's ult is very good, right? But on the one thing that's different about this track is that before, Saiyan had to compete with every fucking backliner in the video game, popping like NSM plus another acceleration. Now it's gonna probably be Nimble Nav plus another accelerations. That is actually probably going to be the single biggest thing that is gonna make Kita-san a lot better on here, is that NSM is not just like a free, literally every single backliner has it ability, right? Riding free on late race, best Excel, trust, true. But no, like, I've definitely seen a lot in shorter longs, too. Like, a 3,200 is gonna be even rougher, yeah? But I've absolutely seen Saiyan get Anglican scheming, and if a backliner, you need a backliner to actually get something good. They're not just going to run her down baseline. But if a backliner gets like NSM and like Spurt, or NSM and a good like Slick Surge proc or something like that, she gets ran down, man. Right? She gets caught up to. Like, if the accelerations are even remotely the same, she then has like 40 seconds of the world's worst coefficient to deal with. But NSM not really being a thing is valid. If it's solo say, I can see that. It usually is. Now, I will say, the Kitasans are probably going to have other Kitasans to struggle with, right? And you know, try to struggle with and to try to build a lead with, right? So there are a couple of factors here. Though, again, I think almost, not primarily, but, well, almost, primarily, really. It's the NSM kind of being mostly gone, right? Because I need you to realize, right? No stopping me, right? This shit has 3-second duration, yes? On a 3200, the duration of this skill is longer than the entire acceleration phase, yeah? This is a Saiyan Sky ultimate. Like, Saiyan Sky gets Anglican Scheming, which is a 0.4 acceleration, right? She gets a 0.4 excel for, again, her ultimate's gonna last so long, it's absolutely going to last the entire acceleration phase. So does No Stopping Me on a long, right? On, like, the Kika show or something, I saw Saiyan Sky get run down a lot of times. Because NSM just equals Anglican Scheming. And then if they have any other acceleration, they're accelerating faster than you are, right? They're accelerating faster than you are with a better coefficient. What's she supposed to do, right? So, no, absolutely. But, again, Nimble Nav? That's still going to last the whole time, but point two is a lot. Point 2 is very different from point 4, right? Point 2 is very different from point 4, and a lot of, like, if we look at where the late race begins here, that final corner is, this is corner 3 the second time. Is this the right track? Yes, it is. Yeah. Corner 3 the second time is 117 meters after the acceleration begins, which is, like, not great. Yeah? Like, again, if you, like, you're probably 70% of the way done accelerating, something like that, by the time that you get here. It's tough, right? Especially because, again, when you think about when you're on long, if you pop even your, like, inherited iron or something like that, or, like, say you have fucking let's pump some iron, and, you know, inherited version will be 2.4 seconds. This is still 7 seconds, right? So, like, you're losing out on a lot of value from this. This is for most of the acceleration phase. Or, sorry, for most of this skill's duration, if you pop it, you are not going to be accelerating, right? You're probably going to get, like, instead of the 7.8 seconds or whatever the fuck that you should get out of this, you probably will be getting closer to 3 seconds of value out of it or something. So it's not going to be nearly as good, right? Taishin Stonks? Yeah, I was looking at this track. It is actually, I mean, maybe Kitasan is going to prove me wrong, that it's going to be Kitasan and End Closer Heaven, but this just seems like End Closer Heaven, right? Like, even, I feel like Late Surger is going to have, I mean, you're, like, on your left is your acceleration, basically, and the late race is so long, right? The late race is so fucking long, man. Like, the late race is 533 meters, and you need on your left in, like, the first 100 for it to be good. Like, we were talking on the sprint track, the late race was 200 meters long. So that was, like, you know, it was like a 50-50, a little better, maybe, on what, because there were a lot of bad accels on that track, too, right? It was, like, a 50-50 on whether or not on your left is, like, amazing. Here, it's gonna be, like, a 18% chance. It's real rough, right? Like, lates do not really have a great acceleration here. Besides, again, if you're gonna build a late surger, you kind of have to Bijin Wit that ass or something. I got to run my full team or so back. Yeah. And the nice part about longs is the problem with straightaway spurt and encroaching shadow is they don't fucking last for any amount of time at all. Right? Like 0.9 seconds as a baseline is so garbage. But when it's being multiplied by 3.2, now it's still not great, right? But 3 seconds of 0.2 excel, or if you're Taishin, 3 seconds of 0.4 excel. Now that's at least, like, that's really strong at the very least, right? Like, we're not gonna really doubt that too much. 0.9 seconds, or like if it's a mile, like a second, like 1.2 seconds or something, especially if we're not talking about shadow and just talking about spurt, like 1.2 seconds of 0.2 excel. Because again, keep in mind, acceleration is essentially length agnostic, right? It'll depend on the racetrack and how many good accelerations are available, but you don't take longer to accelerate to full speed on a long than you do on a mile or on a sprint or something like that, right? So, The fact that this gets to actually be like a pretty meaningful chunk of the acceleration phase on a long means that spurt is obviously going to be very good, right? And then obviously as well, end closers naturally have the best late race coefficient, right? Right, 1 for this is acceleration. That's lates, but for speed it's the same thing. Lates and ends are both pretty close on that, right? Yeah, 1 and then 0.994. But again, this means that, you know, if you are a front runner running at 24 meters per second, theoretically, or you should be from your stats and everything alone, and you are an end closer running at 24 meters per second, the front is actually running at 0.962. The front is running at 23 meters instead. Now, we mentioned that if someone was running 1.1 meters per second faster than you, that gets them 3.75 meters on you. This is closer to 33, right? Like this is why it really is Kita-san or maybe Saiyan or no one, right? Because you have to have so much goddamn acceleration, because just baseline, the lead you build up from the early race and the mid race, combined with the lead you get for having a better acceleration in the late race, those two have to add up to 11 lengths. No, it's way more than that. 11 lengths is 27.5 meters. I mean, this is, let's see, 24 minus that, 0.912, 0.912 times like 37, 33, yeah, 33.7, 33.7 over 2.5. Okay, yeah. So the lead you build up in the mid race, and, you know, the lead you build up from having hopefully better accelerations, more consistent accelerations in the late race, has to add up to 13.5 lengths by themselves. So how do you do that if you're not Kita-san Black? I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, Saiyan, I guess, could probably do it too. Saiyan has Saiyan has a similar... Oh no, Anglican scheming is ass here! Never mind. No, not... Yeah, right. No. Anglican scheming is going to activate there, right? This assumes equal builds. Well, yeah, if you stat mog them, then go for it, right? But it should be harder to stat mog them as a front runner too, because you need more stamina than everyone else, right? Like, chances are your build's gonna be worse. Yeah? Like, you need more stamina than the backliners running you down. Right? Like, you're not stat mogging no one, probably. Front players have better fundies? Sure, yes. But my point is that, yeah, this is a monstrous gap that fronts have to make up on longs. It's not fair. And again, looking at this, if all the backliners are being silly and power maxing, then maybe this is going to be fine, actually. But looking at this, I'm like, listen, Kita-san's ult is by the way, the best acceleration on this track is Kita-san ult, right? Point blank, period, no discussion. It's better than Encroaching Shadow, it's better than everything, right? The best acceleration on this track is Kita-san ult, for sure, no doubt. But even with that in mind, I'm just like, is that enough for this? The mid race is going to be super important, right? Like, the mid race is going to, because you can't, Kita-san ult is not going to give you 13.5 lengths by itself, right? But you're gonna need to have that tremendous lead built up over this incredibly long mid race here. Which, I mean, the one part of this that is nice, where is it? Yeah, right? Here's one of the really nice parts that is gonna make this possibly doable for Kita-san, is this first downhill, which is the only downhill in the mid race, ends before position keep ends. Yeah? That's really nice. That means if a backliner gets really lucky on their wit rolls, or just is generally really high wit or something like that, they can't, like, entirely eat up your fucking lead, you know? Like, at the end, if they go too far ahead, they're gonna get paced down, unless they, I guess, get really lucky as well. And, I mean, this downhill ends right around where that second straight begins? Yeah, a little bit after that, right? So, like, if they get lucky and they, like, pop downhill mode a lot, and then near, you know, as they're going, they chain a couple skills together or something, what are you supposed to do about that? They hit the fucking nuts, right? They hit the mid-race nuts, and, like, they turn off pace down mode until this ends, and then the fucking gold chips in, like, 4th or something. What are you supposed to do about that? I'm also planning a Zip Bomb late game target speed inherit package. I mean, you kind of have to, if you're going to be running triple front, like if one of those fronts is not Kita-san, which obviously 2 of them will have to not be, you gotta have to do everything you can, right? I do wonder, I guess if you can fit as many, like if you definitely have to skill gap, right? You do have to skill gap. You have to hope that everyone is that, by the way, is an argument against the wit max, is that for backliners anyway. An argument against the wit max is that this is a problem, right? This ending before position keep is a problem. An argument for the wit max is that if you jam as many fucking mid-race skills on your backliner as you feasibly can, the odds that you hit one of them, one of your corner or straightaway skills at a time like right around here is at least higher. And then if you jam as many skills as you can, then having your wit as high as possible is going to be very important. It is very notable to point out that, like, as we've been talking about, right, every single pop of every single skill, like if you have like long corners or something, everything is better on a long. Right? This isn't 9 seconds of speed on this track. This is this isn't 3 seconds. This is 9.6, right? It's never 3 really, but like even on like a mile, on like, in Aquarius right now, this would be what's 60% to 3? Like 1.8, right? This would be 4.8 seconds of speed on Aquarius. It's double that here. It gets a 3200, right? It's literally twice as long, so it's twice as effective. So this is 9.6 seconds of speed. Every skill pop that you get is just that much more valuable. Like this skill, long corners, single circle, by itself is 9.6 times 1.15, right? This by itself is nearly 1.5 meters. This is over half a length. Just this one guy popping. So every one of those little skill procs you can get, right, becomes so much more meaningful. Like this is, again, literally double as good as it. Like this would be closer to a quarter of a length on Pisces right now. Yeah. I'm farming a New York Opera O, Triumph Impulse, TD, Duty of Dignity Calls. Yeah, on one parent. I'm trying to figure out how I can get Win QED involved. Hey, if you can do that shit, I don't know if we quite have that critical mass of both skill points and late race skills to make that shit worth it, but is Ballroom saying we don't know if she'll come out during registration or after registration? What is Ballroom saying doing? Let me make a new track. Let me make a new tab. Seiyun Sky. Oh. Seiyun Sky. Hello, Ballroom saying Sky. Did he just have Anglican Scheming too? Electric Boogaloo? If positioned towards the front on a straight late race. Wow, they said you gotta cover everything. If the straight is on the back stretch, also increase acceleration very slightly. Oh, I see. So if this is, it's either end velocity or, again, a straight front type 2 away from the audience is like this, basically. I wish they would show, like, I think the audience is always listed here, right? Like, I think the stands are always here because, like, the finish, like, it's, they're always on the side of the finish line, I think. So her ult in this case would happen, but with second straightaway adept, home stretch haste, and a lucky long front straightaway proc, I think it'll work. I'm interested. I definitely wanna hear about it. I wanna hear about it. I mean, if you pop like 7 of them or 6 of them or something like that, you are basically running just as fast while they're active. So that will help maintain that lead that you've already got. Anyways. Yeah, this first downhill being before position keep ends is certainly a very big deal. But I think it's probably, I mean, you're still saving stamina while you're on here, right? And you are still going to be, like, moving forward. It's just if you get really lucky and move too far forward, you will get paced down. Unless you get really, really, really lucky, and it only happens near the end, then you pop a mid-race skill, right? But that's probably not something to rely on too much. These uphills, right? These uphills, this is what's annoying about this. These are two slope uphills. I know you'd look at them and say compared to the downhills, there's nothing fucking here, right? But they are mean, because both of these uphills are in meaningful places, aka not in the acceleration zone. This one is smack dab in the mid race, and this one is smack dab in, like, the final stretch, right? Where you also, both of the times here, you're going to be at top speed. And a two slope uphill, it's a nasty thing. As a reminder, uphill-a-thon, slope percentage times 200 over power stat is how much target speed you lose, right? So if we say 2 times 200 over, let's say someone has 600 power and someone has 900 power, right? 600. So this is how much speed you're losing per second. Again, you're running on these for in the mid race, you're on there for probably, I mean, this is 120 meters, right? So you're on here for probably, with the speed debuff, close to 6 seconds, roughly. You're going to be running at 19.5 baseline on a long, and this is going to take like another 0.6 off of there. Oh, right, because you're running slower on a long, too. I think it's 19.5 instead of 20 is your base speed. So it's actually, I mean, you're going to be on here for whatever the fuck 120 over 18 is. Yeah, almost 7 seconds. You know what I'm saying? So this is a lot. Like, you are now, of course, it's the comparison that we care about. So this is going to be, and then in the final stretch, it's the same length, right? Is it the same length? You'll be on there for less time in the final stretch because you're running about 20% faster there. It's 125, but you're on there. You're running about 20% faster. You're probably running at around 23.8, 24 or something like that because you're even faster in the actual last spurt than you are in the late race. So 125 over like 24 is about 5 seconds. A little more probably because I'm not taking into account the actual slowdown there. So it's like 5.5 and 6.5. Call it 12 seconds roughly that you're on these uphills total, right? So if you have 600 power, it's this times 12. That's 8 lengths. Now, of course, what we need to actually see is how much more. That's 8 lengths. That's how much slower you are compared to if that uphill wasn't there in the first place. What we need to see now is compare that to someone with a higher amount of power, right? So if we look at, I mean, 600, no one's going. Let's do at least 700 here, because like I don't think 600 is a realistic amount of power for you to be aiming at basically almost ever. Like if we say someone else who has going to 900 is not like a crazy high investment compared to this, right? Yeah, times 12, you can do that. I'm not like bed massing wrong or something. So, okay. It's a length and a half, right? That is, no, it's not a length and a half. It's about 60% of a length. It's a meter and a half, which is a length is 2.5 meters. So like, it's actually not that big of a deal. I was looking at those two uphills going, you know, it's not really, like, power is actually probably more important here than I'm giving it credit for. This is not nothing at all, right? And, by the way, power is obviously still providing its full value. Power is providing its full value in the late race here because there isn't an uphill, right? So, you know, with the extra, like, if you combine that with also just the acceleration diff, 0.0006, I think it's 306, times the square root of 500 times 700, right? Assume the acceleration skills that you pop are the same here. We're talking about just power diff. But if we take this, because at the end of the day, even if until you overflow to the point that you're accelerating so much faster that it lowers this how long you're accelerating for, even if your total value is bigger, the absolute value of acceleration will still have a linear difference, a linear effect on the lengths between you and your opponent, right? So if you are accelerating like that, and they'll be bigger this time, so let's put them over here. 0.6 times square root of 500 times 900 minus, right? So that, you're accelerating for, let's say 8 seconds. 8 seconds, 9 seconds, something like that. It could be a lot less. It could be a lot more. It depends really on. I mean, I guess we could do the math. We could do the math. Let's keep that number there. Let's say that. I mean, what is a reasonable amount of acceleration for most people to be rocking? Let's say like 0.3 to 0.4. Let's use both of those, right? So let's say let's use 700 power as the baseline, I guess, and it could just be a little higher if you are rocking even, or it could be a little less time if you're rocking even more, but square root times square root 5, because I never actually done this math and I want to do this math. Let's say you have 700 power, right? Plus 0.3. If this is the case, then it's literally just this divided by how much you have to accelerate, right? And I believe that using rough numbers, you're going to be running at around 19.5 meters per second. Let me just double check these numbers real quick. In the mid race, I think you're going to be running at around 19.5 meters per second on a long track base speed. Yes. Oh, it's more than that. 20 minus course distance over 2,000. So this is 1,200. 20 minus 1,200 over 1,000. 20 minus 1.2. Oof. Okay, so you're running at 18.8. But that also means your top speed is going to be lower, I guess, because your top speed is your base speed is cooked into it. But that also means you're going to be on those uphills for a little longer than I was giving you credit for, right? But yeah, so what do we... So we have 18.8, and then let's assume 1200 speed, right? Let's assume 1200 speed. Let's assume you're both end closers, just because that makes this number 1, so it's the easiest, right? So we have 18.8 plus, it's just straight up plus square root of 500 times 1200. Oh, and then there's a big factor you put at the end. Yeah, times 0.02. Times 0.002. Yeah. So you have... Oh, really? You might be accelerating for a lot less than I'm generally giving you credit for, huh? Let's say you have distance S as well. That'll make this times 1.05. Yes, you only... What was that? That's 1.6 meters per second to make up. Is this always the case? You're accelerating for way less time than I'm giving you credit for if this is true. Is that true? I mean, I think so, right? Yeah. Your base speed is 80. It doesn't matter here, really. It's just more about the difference between your base speed and... I guess you're accelerating for longer if you're, like, if this number is smaller. No, you're not. No, you're not. It wouldn't make any difference at all. So this is 1.6 meters that you have to meters per second that you have to make up, right? And here we're accelerating at 0.047. Ah, okay. No, it is. No, sorry. Here, 0.6. I was gonna say that we're accelerating for like 50 minutes. Are you really? If you have a 0.3 accel, should be 23 meters per second for end? What am I doing wrong here? What am I missing? What am I missing here? Because that's not what I'm getting at all. Square plus. No, I did plus. Yeah. 500 times your speed stat times 1.05 for this. This is 1. How do you get to 23 here? Because I'm getting 20.4, which seems wrong. That seems too slow. I know for a fact it's usually faster than that, but I don't know how I fucked my numbers up. Base plus final leg speed plus max spurt speed. Oh shit! This is your target speed in the late race. That's your target speed is 20.4. My bad. Here we go. Right? That number that I just got plugs in here. Yes. Yeah, I was gonna say, huh? Yeah, so this is 20.4, right? That number is 20.4, plus 0.01 times 18.8, right? So now we can do that. 20.4. Let's put some brackets around this shit. 20.4 times 0.01 or plus 0.01. It probably is going to be around 23, but I want to do the math. I want to actually go through the math one time because I've never actually done this, and then every other time I can use heuristics. Times 18.8, right? And then multiplied by 0.15, or 1.05 rather, the whole thing. Right? And then you add your speed again. Oh, your speed factors in twice. I actually did not realize that. That makes sense as to why it fucking feels so important. So we just add this again, and then the guts as well. But the guts is almost nothing. The guts, like, times 0.0001, it's 1/20th the impact that your speed had, and the number's going to be lower. We can add, like, a tiny little factor there at the end. So then, now once again, okay, yeah, it's going to be, like, 23.2, if the math is anything like the same. I have a spreadsheet. Yeah, I just want to go through the math here once myself. Square root 500 times 1200 times 0.002. Yeah. And then guts, I mean, it's going to be slightly, like, it's going to be like 23 and like a half maybe. 450 times guts. Let's say you have 550 guts, right? Plus 450 times 550 to the 0.597 times 0.0001. 23.3. Yeah, okay. So, we're going from 18.8 to 23.3. Roughly, right? 23.3 minus 18.8. So we have 4.5 meters per second to make up. And if we're accelerating at 0.3, then we're doing that at what's it called? We're accelerating at 0.65 meters per second. Yes, it's about, okay, so 7, actually. For point, it's 7.5 is closer, right? Like, we can just take this number, because dividing it is, well, I guess dividing it works too, right? We can take this number and divide 4.5 by it. Yeah, just about 7 seconds. We're excited. So it is a little less than I'm giving it credit for. And if this is 0.4, then it's closer to 6, right? So it is 6 or 7 seconds is roughly how long you're going to be accelerating for. And if you have more power, that only goes down, right? So, with all of that being said, if this is the difference in acceleration, right? If this is the difference in acceleration between the two horses, if you want to figure out the difference in lengths, you take this is now A, and we multiply this by 0.5, and then by the time that we're accelerating for squared. So either 36, if we're accelerating for 6 seconds, in which case, this comes out to 0.855 lengths, or meters, which is like a third of a length, which is not that big of a deal, right? Or, if it's 7 seconds, then it's a little more, 1.1. All in all, this, right, being, now, to be fair, this is assuming that your acceleration, here I'm assuming your acceleration is lasting, the acceleration skills, that extra 0.3, is lasting the entire acceleration phase. On a long, that actually is a valid assumption. If anything lasts for more than 6 seconds, it will be there for the entire acceleration phase if it activates at a good time. And guess what, man? That's every fucking, like, Nimble Nav counts, right? Anglican Scheming, well, Anglican Scheming and Iron and all of that will actually be later, I guess. But, like, any acceleration ults that pop at a good time will do this, right? I am underestimating this slightly, though, because you might not have that 0.3 all the time. That's why we're also going for 7 seconds, even though 0.4 told us if we have 0.4 the whole time, it will be 6 seconds. We're going for 7. This, plus the difference in the uphills, is about a length. From 700 to 900 power. Now, that matters, right? Like, we're trying to, you know, crank out every little bit of advantage that we can in a CM. I'm not going to look at a length and tell you it doesn't matter. But also, if you happen to pop 2 more excels, or not excels, 2 more mid-race skills because you have more wit, then this disappears entirely, right? It's not about a length not being important. It's about, like, you know, opportunity costs, give and takes, right? If you can pop 2 more fucking skills, like, this, by the way, not a gold velocity skill. Like fucking white, long corners, single circle. 2 of these is bigger than the power gap, right? Factoring the uphills in. Again, this is very simple math. This is 9.6 times 1.5, times 0.15 times 2. Times 2. This is a length and a bit, right? So, like, I don't know. I feel like 700 power, if you can get more, right? But at the cost of your wit, I'm not so sure personally. I'm not so sure because wit is gonna be skill procs, which are at their highest value ever on this track. 3200 is the most important that skills will ever be individually because their duration is maximized. Right, there is no G1 longer than this. So this is your skill procs have never been stronger, every individual one, than they are here. And this is a 3200 meter heavy track, so your HP is fucking getting you murdered, right? So it's very important to be saving stamina in downhill mode here as much as you can. And that just like straight scales with your wit linearly. You can talk about diminishing returns on wit. You're wrong, because when you think about having 10 or 11 skills that you need to pop, then suddenly, you know, you need a lot more, like, wit, if anything, starts to scale, like, increasing your wit by 50% increases the odds of that by more than 50%, right? Even from like 600 to 900 or 900 to 1200 or something like that. So there's no diminishing returns there. If wit was capped at like 4K, then maybe, right? So it saves you energy in downhill modes, right? It gives you the strongest wit procs that you've ever had, and it also is just really important for positioning you in not only in the mid race, though again this is nerfed a little bit. This is nerfed a little bit by the fact that position keeps not over, right? So certainly if you go, like, the difference between a guy with like 1200 wit and a guy with 900 wit or something is probably not going to be very big here, because most likely the guy with, like, if you could even get the 1200 wit, which it's meant, so maybe you can hit like 1200 speed, 1000 stamina, 700 power, and 1000 wit. I have no idea. All I've seen is that man's stat lines are kind of nutty, right? But you know, the difference, like 300 wit at the top end here is probably just going to lead to you getting paced down unless you get lucky here, right? But there is also, guess what, man? There's a fucking 595 meter downhill in the late race. It's longer than the one in the mid race. right? That's a big deal. Because again, the entire time that you have downhill mode active, you have a fucking professor of curvature active. And if you have 50% more width than someone, and, you know, on average, you just have 50% more downhill mode, right? So, like, if they're in downhill mode for, like, 4 seconds, you're in downhill mode for 6 seconds, right? Probably, I mean, it's a 500-meter downhill. It's probably way more than that. Because every second that you are in downhill mode, you have a 20% chance to leave it, but then you can instantly re-enter it based on your width. The math on this is a little complicated, actually. If I have a, say, 50% chance, which is like really high width, I think. If I have a 50% chance to enter downhill mode, how long am I expected to be? This is actually, because I did the math very in-depth for power. Let's do the math for width. How much difference, I mean, to be fair, the downhill mode is not the only thing width is providing by far. But, like, I am still curious as to how big of a difference is it to be the guy with 600 width versus 900 width, or 700 versus 900, let's even say, on that downhill. Let me just type downhill real quick. Forget the exact odds of going in there. Man, stat lines are nutty. I'm unsure how quickly it'll take me to actually hit crazy stats while producing a viable ace, but I'm planning for 1200, power, guts, 1100. Maybe, man. Maybe, genuinely. Downhill. Where's the chance? Wisdom stat times 0.04%, right? So, again, this is linear scaling. So, say I have 600 times 0.04, I guess 0. Times 0.04. So, 2400. At 1200, then it would just be 48, right? So, 700 will be 28, and 900 will be 36. That makes sense. Now, how do I... This math is difficult. If I have... Say I have 900 width, and I have a 36% chance to enter downhill mode anytime when I'm not in downhill mode. But every... Okay, well, here's something. This is a two-step problem. If every second my downhill excel mode has a 20% chance to end, how long until the expected value is that it ends? How do you do that probability math? That's, How long do you have to go till there's a over 50% chance that a 20% chance hits, right? That's what you're looking for? I think? Like, what you're looking for is, like, how many times do I have to do this before this number is smaller than 0.5? Roughly? 1 minus 0.8 to the t. What is that? 1 minus 0.8 t in time? What is this? What is this measuring? Because, yeah, obviously 1 minus 0.8, yeah, so that's... Is it 0.8 to the t specifically, or is it 1 minus 0.8 to the t? Like, is it this? You mean 1 minus 0.2 to the t. You mean what I was doing earlier, right? You mean this, 0.8 to the t. Right? You mean, yeah, but again, you mean 1 minus 0.2. This, basically, what I was doing earlier. Yeah? Bum, 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 bum. I assume so. Anyways. There's been a bigger delay in chats recently, I've found. I gotta still go see if they fucking flip the setting on or something. That is what you're referring to, right, Ophidian? Just doing this? You made a typo in your message there? I don't know. Regardless, this was the first thing that came to my mind too, is just keep exponentiating this until it's less than 0.5. And that'll tell you roughly when you would expect, like, more likely than not, you've exited that downhill mode. This is trying to account for somewhat average luck. Yeah, exponentiating it. Yeah. It's like, I don't know, man. About 3 seconds, right? So it's about 3 seconds. How many goes at this are you going to get, right? This gets really messy because if we're saying you both enter downhill mode right when you enter it, sure, but then because of your different widths, it's going to start staggering out, right? But just you know, bear with me. If you're in here for about 3 seconds, and I guess you would do the same thing. Oh, Jesus. You would do the same thing. This is if you have 700 width, right? Then you take this and you square it, right? Roughly every, like... yeah, roughly every 2 seconds you'll re-enter it, versus 0.64, 1.5. Roughly every 1.5 seconds you'll re-enter it, right? I mean, it is just going to be the difference. How many more downhill? Okay, how many more downhill modes you get if assuming average luck is linear, right? It's literally 900 over 700, right? That'll be the difference. How many more downhill modes you get? You're gonna get 28% more downhill modes, basically, right? This should be linear. Oh damn! Try using Wolfram. Unironically, it is an integral. Like, if you want to do this exactly, it's an integral. Yes, but I'm trying to roughly get this here. You will get roughly 28% more downhill modes than the guy with 700 wit, right? And the guy with 700 wit is staying in downhill mode for about 3 seconds. That's universal, right? And he's getting a new one every 2 seconds, right? So this whole cycle, this 5-second cycle, how long are you on this downhill for? It is 595, called 600 meters in the late race, where you're running at about 23 meters per second, right? So it is 600 over 23 over 5. So there are going to be about 5 of these cycles, right? If you are going to get 28% more of these, then you're going to get roughly 6, maybe 6 more on the side of 7 of these cycles, right? Like, you're going to, like, if you're the guy with 700 wit, you're going to have about 5 downhill modes on average in that downhill. If you're the guy with 900 wit, you're going to have 6, 7, yes, I know, it just never stops, downhill modes, right? Now, with that rough back of the napkin math, what is the worth of one downhill mode? The worth of one downhill mode is about a meter, right? 0.3 times slow percentage is, I think, 0.1 on these, but it's such a small factor of the number anyway, right? Yeah. So slow percentage is 1, right? So it is, where the fuck did I go? Yeah, so it's 0.31, right? So every downhill mode that you get is 0.31 times 3. Take this and say that the difference between these two, let me just grab this, right? And go this exact same thing minus that, right? 1.46 times 1.46. The downhill mode in the late race alone, right? The difference between the average number of downhill modes that you'll get, this is literally zooming in on one thing that Wit is doing on this track, right? Is more than the acceleration difference from 700 to 900 power, right? Like, we got that number earlier. Right? It was, yeah. This is the difference in acceleration between a guy with 700 and 900 power. It's 1 meter. This is 1.35. Right? This is just that late race downhill. Now again, the mid-race uphills are going to add like another meter to this, right? So it ends up being more than that. But I mean, there's another fucking downhill, right? There's another fucking downhill, right? Which you will not pace down you unless you get really lucky, which is weirdly a little unlucky, right? So there's another fucking downhill here that's almost as big. And then there's just the matter of all the fucking extra stamina that this will give you and all the extra skill procs that this will give you, right? Like, again, we could look at, I actually don't have the number off the top of my head for what 700 and 900 wit are, but I'm just trying to use the exact same. This stamina calculator is outdated as fuck. Let's just take a look at it because it has this number, which I like. What is 700 wits? I know 900 is, I think, 85, I think. Oh, this is the one that hold up. This one? Yeah, this is the one that I can edit. 700 is, I think, I'm going to say, off the top of my head, I'm going to say it's 82? Oh, 87. Wait. Oh, 900 is 90. I'm thinking of 500 is 82. Yeah. 900 is 90 and you're 87.14, right? And 900 is then 90%. Yes. Okay. Cool. Let's take a look at this, right? If I have let me not delete these actually. All of these are fucking painstakingly found numbers. 0.8714 and you want to pop 10 skills. 10 skills. The odds of that is 25%. Right? 0.9, and you want to pop 10 skills. The odds of that is 35%. So again, how much have you increased your wit by? It's 28%. And hold. 0.9 to the 10 divided by this. You've increased your wit by 28%, and your skill proc chance has increased by 38%. Diminishing returns, by the way. I don't know. Like, yes, compared to going from 0 to 300, like, multiplies the odds by, like, 100, but that's broken. That's insane. Like, we're not comparing, like, no other stat in the video game has the benefit of going from, like, 1 wit to 400 wit or something. Like, that's just, wit is ridiculously, absurdly broken at lower numbers. The benefits that you get from that. But, like, I increased my wit by 28%, and I increased my chance to proc my skills by 38%. It seems good to me, right? And if you have more than 10 skills, which you unironically might have, like most of my Aquarius Cup aces I think have 11 or 12, right? This number just gets better, right? Like, this number gets better. The more skills you have to proc. And it's fucking Mant, by the way. So 12, like, I just realized as well that this number, I'm doing this off of, like, Alharu, right? I have no idea how the fuck Mant works, but aren't you going to have, like, 3.5k skill points or something? Like, you're racing, like, 50 times a fucking career, aren't you? Like, this is gonna be more than, like, we're gonna have more than 11 skills here. No? Maybe we just don't fucking have enough skills. Like, you have to make sure you're building your parents. Like, you might not be able to get enough skills from, like, just cards. Like, the trainees base skills and, like, hints and shit. A man will have, like 2.5k points absolute minimum. Yeah, and, like, a 2k skill point run in Alharu is, like, godlike. You know? Like, I'm doing 24 races in fucking Alharu total, and I'm coming out with, like, 2.1 skill points or something like that, right? So, like, even if you want to be kind of generous and say that it's going to be, like, 3 or 4 extra skills, right? For that extra 400, 500 skill points compared to an already really race-heavy run in Alharu, you know? 15 skills, right? 15 skills. I increased my wits by 28%, and I got more than double return on that. And again, you might go, who gives a fuck about every individual skill? Nuh-uh. I do. On a 3200, I do. Because maybe you might go, not every skill is mission critical. Nope. Again, if fucking white single circle long corners is more than the entire difference between the power difference between two guys with 700 and 900, right? It's about like 1.1 meters for that, and this is like 1.4. Like, this is like 60% of a length by itself. Yeah, I care about every single fucking skill on a 3200, right? So, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know exactly, like, I think power is great. I think it's definitely a take what you can get, though, right? I think it's definitely a take what you can get. So let's say, then, with all that in mind, let's have you at 1200, you at 1000. I mean, maybe we can get higher power, but I'm gonna go for like 750, right? 2.5k points sounds like a super low ball because that's a Unity high ball. That's what I'm saying. So in that case, it's still, again, 28% more wit for 62% more likelihood to pop everything you need to pop, right? So this is being very generous to the power heads, to the anti-wit people. I'm not gonna. I don't want to put in all these fucking skills. I'm not gonna lie to you. Let's just not and say we did, and we'll make it. Well, obviously we have to give her 2 recoveries, but for the other skills, let's just lower the number ever so slightly. Right? My aces for this track have 15 skills. I mean, for this CM, fair. I'm rocking like 12. I'm not race maxing hard enough, clearly. But yeah. So, what are we doing here? You're an end closer. Adding a bunch of velocity skills and stuff will slightly lower her spurt rate because she'll be running slightly faster for a lot of the race. So let's just take this with, let's be unoptimistic about these numbers, basically. Let's say we give her like 1000 wit. How does that look? She is Uma 1. She's Uma 1 indeed. 88.4% spurt rate. I mean, that's pretty close to acceptable. I mean, like, honestly, it is acceptable, rather. It's pretty close to, like, 90% spurt rate is usually, yeah, 23.63, yeah. I think, why is this different? Might have, oh, probably because this is 23.3. I know exactly what this is, yeah. This is 23.3 plus the downhill mode is getting her to 23.6. That's why this is her fastest speed. Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty good. You can argue, but yeah, it is, again, unfortunately, though, it is a matter of, like, you do have to hit both of these, though. Like, it's, I don't know how, if you can... Oof. Yeah, I mean, that's, even with 1200 and, like, a little more guts, you probably don't even get there, huh? You do. You do, actually. Right, because a gold recovery skill is probably around 250 stam on this. and like the 200 extra guts plus. I mean, you do, but this is hard, right? Maybe not in Mant, but I guess maybe not in Mant. Again, I'm still very Alharu brained. I look at the stat line, I go, this is fucking impossible. What do you mean 1200 speed and 1200 stamina and like anything reasonable at all in the other 3 numbers, right? But like, this is a better thing to do, right? If you can do this, you know, save it, because having to hit both of your gold skills, even if you have 1200 wit, right? Even if you have like the 92.5% chance, right? Having to hit both of your gold skills, 15% chance isn't the worst, but a 15% chance that you just drop dead is pretty bad, right? Whereas one gold recovery skill, even with 900 wit, is just a 90% chance, right? So it's just better. Like, so if you can do this, this is certainly preferable. And you don't have to, I mean, I overshot too. Again, if you want to go for like 80, what you posted is actually a pretty low ball, I think. What do you mean? Posted what? You can probably get away with a little less. Check the absolute minimum free-to-play deck in Haunts. What you made? Oh, this? Like this right here, you're saying? Let me see. BB. Wait, when you say absolute minimum. These are these rares? Is this a deck with... Oh, that's a... Are those... Is that fucking... What the fuck? Oh, my word. Excuse me? What is this scenario? This is Matt? There's a rare card plus borrow Trackblazer? Oh my lord. Okay. Then yeah, you can definitely hit this then. You can definitely hit at least this, right? I mean, at this point, fuck it. I mean, in that case, fucking go for like these stat lines, right? But I would still say, like, if one of these is gonna be like 1200 and one of them is gonna be 900, it should be power. You know what I mean? Because power, unlike wit, actually has diminishing returns, right? Like if we take these exact, what was those numbers earlier with the uphills? We take these exact numbers, and instead of 700 to 900, we have the guy with less power be 900, and the guy with more power be 1100, right? It's a smaller difference. It's not, to be fair, it's not a... Oh, this is acceleration. It's the uphills where you actually feel it a lot more. Yeah. The accelerate, that is still a smaller difference, but it's the uphills where you do feel like 1100 here and 900 here. Yeah, there you go. That is like 30% less or something. What was it with the 700 and... 900, yeah, it was 1.5. 1.5 goes down to 0.9. So again, if you can't, I mean, if you could listen, brother, if you can hit 1200, 1200, 1200, 1200, and then guts, absolute sin Uma, right? You're not gonna, fuck it, man, do it. But assuming you can't do that, right? Assuming you can't do that, if one of these has to be like 1200 or 1100 and one of them has to be 900, the 900 should absolutely be power, right? Should absolutely be power here. You're going to get so much more value taking your wit up from 900 to 1200 than you will from like power up from 900 to 1200, right? So this is insane. Like looking at this seems like a fantasy to me. Like, what do you mean? This is, if you're on guts build, the guts could hit 1k. Yeah, but you probably shouldn't. Right? Like, yeah, but you probably shouldn't. Guts is a good stat. Guts is a fine stat now, but it is still significantly worse than all of the other 4. Right? Like, I'm kind of mean to power sometimes. Power mogs the shit out of guts. And you don't need the guts for survival either, right? I mean, this gold chip has a 93% spurt rate. Right? This gold chip has a 95% spurt rate with 1 gold recovery, right? Please don't do guts. If you have no other choice, do it. But, like, don't do guts, like, over something else that you could have done because you're like, this is actually strong. Now, to be completely fair, our argument for guts is that the final stretch is pretty long, right? Final stretch on this guy is 350 meters. Oh, it's actually smaller than I thought. Huh. Still though, 350 meters is a long boy. You know, dueling. You're gonna be dueling. Your dueling is gonna be great, but I just don't think so. I don't know that I quite buy it. Because like, I mean, deadass, it's like if you don't have better cards, then sure. But I'm also like, is this This is the Mant that we're gonna have here. Like, it's not like Alharu, where Alharu gets buffed later, and like it's already horribly power crept at that point. But like, you can still get better things out of Alharu and JP today than you could get, even excluding using the same support cards, right? You can get this like better, you can get better horses out of Alharu because it has those pink bursts now, right? This is the Mant we're getting in like 10 days. This isn't like a buffed version of the scenario. That like this screenshot was taken from JP Mant. Is JP Mant the same as Global Mant right now? Or does it get buffed later on like Alharu? Because this is fucking insane. If you're doing this, why are you ever doing the Guts build? It's one of those challenge run players. I understand. Like, this is not everyone is just gonna run into Mant with 5 R cards and get the stat line. I get that. But the fact that it's even possible, this means that the stat line is at the very least should be easy to get with like actual cards, right? I'm pretty sure, yeah. I mean, if this is, there's no reason to ever fucking Guts build if you can pump out stat lines like even remotely. If you can pump out this stat line, you shouldn't Guts build, right? Like, fuck it. Say you can't get Wit at all. If you have like actual SSRs in here and like your MLB Kita-san or whatever, right? If you can pump out this exact stat line, you shouldn't. This is way better than the Guts build, right? This is like, I would rather this number, like if we were to swap these numbers or something. But like, yeah, like this is insane. Yeah, so, you know, I know like the Ayabe Guts is like, the thing I don't like about the Ayabe Guts card is it's like, oh, this Guts card is so good because it gives you both speed and power on a Guts card. Like, you know what else gives you speed and power? A speed card. Maybe I'm missing something. Like, it's nice that it gives you Guts as well, I guess. But like, would I rather get a good amount of speed and power and a lot of Guts, or just a lot of speed and a good amount of power? I feel like I would just run a speed card instead of Guts Ayabe, unless I had no good speed cards. Like, if you were starting the game in Mant, then maybe you could just pull on the NTR banner and make like get the Haru, get Ayabe Guts, pull some random Guts SR or something. It's really stacking Guts Rainbow on top of Guts Ayabe? No, I get you. But then, like, wouldn't I rather stack Speed Rainbows on top of, like, Kita-san Black and Sweep Tosho or something? What the hell is this? This is a free-to-play. Well, to be fair, this is like a ridiculously optimized free-to-play run. I mean, it's an option. It's probably a bad option. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see... we're waiting. I'll wait until Mant. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see... It's a bad option. Like, you probably should do any... Like, it's an option in Alharu right now. You know? It's an option in Alharu right now. It's a bad option in Alharu. Maybe it's a slightly better one in Mant, but I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. Why is this Ogre strong? Because Mant is ridiculous. The new scenario upcoming lets you get truly absurd stats on your shit. Anyway, yeah, man. Something like this, I guess, right? If you can do better, you can do better, man. If you fucking figure out the Mant Matrix and you're hitting 1204 stats or something, because you also have, like, you figured out the Matrix and you have a great deck and you can hit 1200 and fucking all 4 of these, go for it. But again, if you have to sacrifice... I keep hitting on Discord trying to go view chat. I'm actually... I'm stuck in a fucking brain loop. They hit Taiki SS with rare cards in Global. I don't think it's realistic for most people. No, I agree. But again, I'm not assuming you're running rare cards, right? I'm assuming that this is, like, that you can get something a little better than this, maybe, if you're running, like, a bunch of MLB SRs and a couple of good SSRs, right? You're not doing this with your fucking R cards, I'm sure, right? But, like, if you can, if someone playing the situation Giga optimally, who gets the Giga high roll, can do this with straight rares, right? The Giga high roll with rares in Unity is like... it is not above what you can make with like an average good run with SSRs and shit, right? My point is most people haven't hit SS or even S+ with good cards in Unity. It really comes down to the player. Absolutely, absolutely. But my point is, at the very least, if you can get both of these maxed out, which seems reasonable, if you are then going to, depending on what, you know, maybe this is 900 and this is 700, right? Versus like this being 900 and this being 700, you know? Like, there's always going to be one that lags behind a little bit, right? If one of them should lag behind, it should be power, is basically the point I'm coming. The exact numbers you might be hitting here is going to be different based on your deck, based on how good you are at the scenario, how much time you have on your hands, how sweaty you want to be, sure, right? But I guess the argument in Mant for Guts builds is that you're trying to high roll your race bonus stats, so you only need to click Guts plus Wit. I don't think it'll work for Pisces when you need so much stam. Yeah, I mean, it is hard to get good race bonus on cards that aren't Guts cards, I guess, too, right? Like, a lot of the cards with really high race bonus that aren't Guts cards are, like, MLB SSRs and shit, right? Like, it's like Nice Nature with 15, but she has to be at MLB on a Wit SSR, or like MLB SSR Fine Mo, or though a lot of the SR, like there's like 2 or 3 SR Wit cards, right? Agnes Tachyon, Marvelous Sunday, and there was another one that I was looking at that I can't remember off the top of my head now. That'll have 10 race bonus as well. Shinko Windy is an SR with 10 race bonus, right? So I think you can piece together like 50, 60, 70, maybe 70. You probably have to have just some of your own MLB SSRs. You can probably piece together 50 to 60 race bonus with not a single Guts card pretty easily, right? I'm not sure. Anyway, this is fucking nuts, man. I'm still looking at this. I'm like, really? This is what we're doing? Even this, like, even with like 200 lower power and 300 lower wit, I'm still like, like to my little baby Alharu brain, I'm like, how the fuck? How does this happen? Crookshangus Guts Max, people will convince you to try and deliberately MLB an SR card. My lord. Anyway, oh, I've actually been so fucking horse-pilled, I've not broken my fast. These instant noodles have sucked up all of their sauce, man. Still good, though. What time to be alive? I mean, accelerations is really annoying on this track if you're not an end closer or Kita-san Black, huh? There's no, like, secret sauce, right? It is just... Like, if you're a pace chaser, you're getting, what, fucking head-on? Oh my god, it's Uma Musume? It is. Or if you want Top Gun 2, true. Mayano stonks, right? I mean, No Stopping Me is so good here. No Stopping Me is better. Like, No Stopping Me is I mean, what is Kita-san's ult? 0.3, right? Kita-san's ult's a 0.3, and she'll get some speed carryover too, naturally. So, you know, I'm not gonna say that it's just better, but yeah. This will last for hold. This will last for 16 seconds, so she'll get like a good amount of speed value out of this as well, right? But like, I mean, No Stopping Me is almost as good as Kita-san ult, probably a little better. Actually, 0.4 excel versus 0.3 excel and some speed. No, Kita-san's ult's definitely better. But like, No Stopping Me is a comparable skill to her ultimate. Like, the best ultimate for this track is comparable to No Stopping Me in terms of when it goes off. Anyway, NSM should be pretty consistent going off because the final corner is all the way over here, especially if you're rocking like an end closer, because there's going to be a shit ton of end closers, right? End Spica. You mean like special week, Lil Spica? Could she get NSM? Am I missing something? And Lil Spica and Uma Musume Pretty Derby? No? Or you just want to say it? That's valid. But yeah, NSM is ridiculous on this track, right? Her unique has 0.1 excel. Yeah, it helps. Yeah. And Spica. And the game of the year 2025. But yeah, if you can get NSM here, bro, honestly, low-key, the problem is you can't borrow Yukino Bijin in Mant. Are you stupid? I mean, unless you have... Yuck, man. No, it's... Yeah, I mean, if you have her, you know, you could, even at 0 fucking LB just for the NSM, it might be worth it. Deadass, right? This is so good. This is the only card that just gives it too. Yeah, right? If you pulled on that banner way back than when, you are a very happy boy right now, because, I mean... You can try to borrow this. I just don't. I don't think it's a good idea, probably. But maybe it's time for the Maya end closer tech. Oh, I mean, for sure. If you have Maya, I'm fucking hate it, but I'm gonna have to. Well, okay, I don't hate it because I can get her to live on 1 recovery, so it's fine. I mean, if you got the 45% race bonus from the rest of the deck, I guess, right? Like, I guess. It's not like if you can Bofa time. No Bofa time. Not until they buff that shit. I guess. Like, it's an option. She's a pretty bad stat stick, too, right? I mean, oh, Jesus Christ, this card is so bad. She just gives no... Yeah, I don't know, even... She just gives No Stopping Me. Now, No Stopping Me is a build around... That's a win condition, right? This is all win condition. And it is... I mean, it is still... It's a lot better than just popping Nimble Nav, for sure. But... this is such a painful card to run otherwise, right? Ay. Kawakami Princess, can you end close? You can late surge. I mean, that's fine. The main problem with lates is you're not going to have a great acceleration. And, like, NSM is significantly better than No Stopping Me or than Spurk anyway, right? So this is fine. You can run late surge with her and NSM that. Oh, she comes with Rising Dragon. Oh, she's pretty good for this, huh? Oh, long F. Not too much on Kawakami Princess. That's on me. That's all I didn't. Not too much on. I missed. I didn't notice. Now we can close a bunch of these tabs. All right, these are we've done all of our math. We have our conclusions. We can walk with them. Yeah, it's tough for late surgers in this fucking world, man. Like for late and pace, honestly, and I mean, front. It's the worst for front unless you're Kita-san, in which case you probably could chill. There's none good acceleration, man. I'm gonna like, what are you gonna rely on fucking head on? How does Christmas Ogre do? Christmas Ogre will be fine. Well, it's a good question. Fine in that Christmas Ogre popping her ult for mid race is probably super valuable here. Like genuinely, just getting like what are her procs for her ult? For a good proc in the late race, I don't think they really exist. Like you're gonna be. Yeah, they don't really like 777s is obviously way too late, right? Way too late. And there's not really any other things you can really fuck around with here, right? You could try to Gamba on a straightaway recovery, I guess, but even then, even if it pops on the correct straight, well, I guess if it pops on the correct straight, you probably are fine, unless it pops really early into the correct straight. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4 straights, right? So it's really bad. If you are, Christmas Ogre is probably going to just pop her ult in the mid race here, honestly, which is like, it's not ideal, right? But it is going to be 16 seconds of 0.25. It's basically, she's gonna get anchors away, right? You're gonna get anchors away with some stamina recovery on it. It's not ideal, but it's something. This is a bit of a weirdo track for her, though. I haven't looked into like every recovery that you could. I mean, you would probably want to run her. Her ult by itself is not enough to pace chase, right? Now pace would have the best chance to. Seems pretty good for a pace Ogre to run down fronts. Yeah, but then the pace Ogre runs down fronts. She then, I guess, nimble navs. My problem is like, the pace Ogre runs down the fronts. The pace Ogre then gets run down by like the gold chip. You know what I mean? How like. Without a really consistent acceleration, she doesn't have to make up 13 lengths like the fronts. Head on and ignited speed power. Yeah, I don't know, man. Right? Yeah, if she hits, but that late race is real long, right? Again, it's like a 18% chance. I don't know, Brick, I'm brainstorming. I like the idea of a late surging Ogre. Because again, you have to remember that a front runner has to have like a 13 lengths lead on you. Mid-race lead plus late race excel difference, right? They have to make up 13 lengths. Late surge Ogre is not going to run them down, right? She's not going to catch up to them, probably. But that lead is going to get cut down heavily. That ult by itself is going to be 0.25 times 16, right? 4 lengths. 4 lengths just from that ult. That's a big deal. And, I mean, Christmas Ogre, if you're going to put 3 recoveries on her, you can probably... I mean, I don't know. My head is hurting. But you could probably 1200 stamina, 1200 guts, 1200, right? Like, you could probably max out both her power and her stam for even more mid-race rundowns. Or, sorry, both her power and her wit. Because I imagine you don't have to max out her stam for her to, like, if I just go Ogre Kapu, and we have, like, I don't know. Let's say she has 1200 wit, right? Let me just cook. Let me cook. I don't know if these stat lines are even really. Let's say 1000 power, right? Let's say she has 1200 wit, 1000 power. How low can this number go? And she's still like relatively okay. Let's say, I mean, Maestro. I guess there's probably no reason if you can get Maestro. You're probably bringing Super Creek even to hit this. Maybe not. Let's say if you can get, what's it? Lion Weight maybe. But then you have to borrow Zeno Rob Roy for me anyway, right? Forget about what the skills are. Let's say you have 1 gold and 2 whites, and then we can do 3 whites as well. I just want to see the difference. Corner recovery and I don't fucking know. Passing pro? Sure. I don't know where the fuck you get passing pro. Well, let me just I got it off an Haru burst one time. Let's just say you have 3 recoveries here. Is this even close to enough? No, it is not. Oh, because she's an end closer. That'll do it. I was gonna say, that seems a little off. I mean, that's fine. That does mean, though, that if this was like a white, if this was like be still, you're probably cooked, right? Yeah. Right? This is not good enough, obviously. So you would need one of these to be a gold skill. Now, I think you'll have the skill point budget for it. The problem is more so, where do you get it? Right? I mean, I guess it could just be Maestro. If you're going to bring Creek anyway, a lot of people are probably going to bring Creek. It could just be Maestro, I guess. But yeah, one of her 3 recoveries is going to have to be a gold skill, probably. I mean, otherwise, maybe you could get away with like 1,000. Like it's like a little bit less stamina. It's like 1,000 stamina. Still, this is a little concerning, right? I would like at least above 80, even if we're going on for a more aggressive strat like that. I mean, and once you get in like 10, I mean, it's not like 1050 and 1200 are the same number, right? That is still, yeah, like this is fine. It's not like 1050 and 1200 are the same number. Like it definitely is still. It's a lot harder to get to 1200 than 1050, as you can tell by any of your fucking runs where you've tried to cap speed and failed. But even still, 83 is a little, and I'm not including speed skills here too, right? So it probably is closer to like 81 or something like that. This is still a little on the low end. So really, you would want one of these to be gold, like probably just Maestro, right? Again, this would be very easy if you were on Peso, because you would just Gourmand that shit, right? But you probably really do want one of these to be like a gold skill, and then at that point, like even like 925 or something is gonna get you, yeah, like that's probably closer to 87-ish with all the speed skills popping and shit like that. That's good enough. That's more than good enough. So I mean, that is a little bit of stamina that you can not get. But I also wonder if like, do you have something? Oh, this is also with 600 guts, which you're probably not getting on this build. So I probably am. I mean, probably with no Rico. No Rico. It's probably. I think this is probably not. Yeah. That's a little low, right? You probably do. It probably goes back up to like 975 or something, right? For a more reasonable. Yeah. So like this is fine. Like this is 225 less stamina that you can get compared to other people. But this does also have the issue of like if you're reliant on all of these to pop to survive. I mean, I guess you're probably not. You're reliant on it to win, right? And you are reliant on it to kind of spurt as well. Yeah. So this does run into the problem of like even with that 0.92.5 spurt rate, right? You do have only an 80% chance for that to proc. So maybe it's a good idea to. I mean, I was gonna say maybe it's a good idea to overstam regardless, but honestly, are you winning if you don't hit this 80%? If you're not getting your ultimate, are you winning? Probably not. So you probably do just build around that, and then make sure you have some slightly more consistent folks on that shit. But you can get away with like 2 whites, 1 gold, and like just maxed wit on Christmas Ogre. That's more than fine. And I do think that popping like this ult is going to basically always pop somewhere in the mid race, but I do think that's actually worth it. I think you have to worry less about your late race as a backliner, just because you are a backliner. If you can open up a big lead between you and like the other, like the end closers, right? Then you can and you're not coefficient mogged, you're just acceleration skill mogged probably, because most of the time you're gonna be hoping to pop like on your left at a good time or something like that. Can you run once with rushed off? Yeah. I guess you could say that on the runs where you get rushed, you're dead anyway. Huh, interesting. Doesn't make that much of a difference. I wonder if she lives even when she's rushed, this one. If I take this down to like 900. Oh yeah, I think that was this is still not high enough, but yeah, I think that one was maybe living even when she got rushed. With the 1200 wits, right? I guess yeah, if you get rushed, you're probably gonna die anyway. And it's probably not worth building around. But yeah, still somewhere in the neighborhood of like 950 to 975 stamina is probably, yeah, this makes 950 look a little better at the very least. But yeah, like 950 to 975 stamina is probably where you want to sit on something like this. What's the length difference between 100% spurt and 80% spurt? Okay, that is a hard question to answer, because when your Uma doesn't full spurt, they pick something as close as possible to a full spurt based on their wit, right? So that difference, how big that difference is going to be, is going to depend on how high your wit is. But basically, okay, let me tell you this. I believe they go down in increments of 0.1, right? I believe they go down, yeah. They go down by increments of 0.1 meters per second top speed every step. Very simply, you are at top speed on this track for like 38 seconds. So even just that, right? 0.1 times 38 is 3.8. It's a length and a half. That's like the best case scenario, non-full spurt, is a length and a half, right? A length is 2.5 meters. Let's say you don't have enough stamina for the 0.1 meters per second lower two, or you miss the width check on that, and you go to 0.2. This is now becoming pretty fucking difficult to win, right? This is 3 lengths. This is a 3 lengths difference. This is so because it's 80% spurt is 80% of the time you still full spurts. This is negligible, right? This is what happens when you don't spurt, right? Not full spurting generally, especially on a track this long, is a lose condition. Generally, there can maybe be times where you don't full spurt, you get the best possible full spurt to the 0.1 meters per second difference, and you had enough stuff going for you in your mid race or other stuff going for you in your late race that it's fine. But unless you have literally this best case scenario, not full spurting is generally a lose condition. That's why you want to make this as small of a chance as possible, right? Because again, I mean, and then very quickly, right? Like 0.2, it'll keep going down. You could just miss the width check twice, or again, just not have enough stamina for those either, right? And then we do boop, and I mean, this is probably just unwinnable. Now, this is 11.4 meters, which means this is like 5 lengths, right? 5 lengths. 2.5 times 4 is 10. Yeah, it's like 4.5, 4.7 lengths, something like that. This is like the difference in like popping a full no stopping me versus not popping a no stopping me, or something like that. So this is tough. This is real tough. And this is, by the way, this is assuming they don't delay their spurt either. There is the chance that, like, this is assuming they just, like, spurt, but they go for a worse spurt. If they delay their spurt, you just lose, right? Like, that is just, there's no, I don't think there's any way that you can feasibly start accelerating later than, like, right here and win, right? Maybe you can make some meme deck that can do that shit, but I don't think so. So, like, 85 to 90% is a great spurt rate to aim for, generally, just because, you want as many chances to win per race as possible, and chances to win are Uma's full spurting and then hitting their nuts. So yeah, again, this is probably like 87%-ish because I haven't included any speed skills, but they're not like a huge difference in how much HP you're taking up. Right, you go from running at like 19 meters per second to 19.15, you'll use more energy, but it won't be for the whole mid-race, and it's still not that big of a difference on the whole. Sure. Yeah, look at that. On average, her failed spurt velocity is only 0.57 meters per second less. That's interesting. I guess that's a 1200 widths, right? Sometimes she still just full spurts anyway, I guess. You think it'll... Oh, no. It's 0.5. Oh, never mind. I thought it was 0.05. I was like, oh, it's not so bad. No, it's really bad. That's horrible. Yeah, that's looking like a front runner. Almost. God damn. They got me looking... They almost got me looking like a front runner on my fucking failed spurt velocity. A front runner just baseline by existing is like -1 compared to an end closer, or late surges are almost the same as ends, but a little slower. So probably like -0.95 compared to a late surger or something. This is not quite that bad, but that's still pretty fucking bad. Sure, man. Yeah, Christmas Ogre is a weird one. There's one more week until I can finally pull for Kita and Mambo. Indeed. Christmas Ogre is a weird one. Because again, you probably are just going to be popping her ult in the mid-race almost all the time. I mean, if you pop it in the late race somehow, like if you... I genuinely don't know how you do this, but if you have... I mean, I guess... The, you are pretty done accelerating by the time you hit that final corner, right? Like, if you're accelerating for 7 seconds, right? Then... you might very well, like, you're getting to that final corner. This is 100, what I say, it was 117 meters. Yeah, you're like 5 seconds in. Iron, maybe, is not that worth it. Moving past and beyond is a little bit more consistent, so maybe. But it might be worth it to, like, drop Iron and get, I don't fucking know, man. Like, Pure Heart or something. The weird part about these long CMs is you might go, Pure Heart, don't you have to be, like, fucking 4th to do that or something? That happens a lot of the time on lates. You can actually, like, these more, like, this shit, right? 2nd to 4th. This happens on lates, on these longs, like, all the goddamn time. Maybe not as much here because Kita-san will be here, right? Maybe not as much here as Kita-san will be here. But, like, as long as there are 3 or fewer Kita-sans per lobby, because I don't know if anyone's going to run other fronts besides Vayne. I don't think anyone else is going to be running fronts here. And Kita-san is also going to be a new horse. So while she... like, people who want to pull her are going to pull for her, and certainly front mains are going to pull for her. I don't think she's going to have, like, an insane incidence rate. It's not going to be, like, gold ship or something. So like this could genuinely happen at some point in the mid race. I have on the Kika show, which was a shorter track than this, right? I have multiple times where my late surging Christmas Ogre was the pace setter. There were 0 fronts, there were 0 paces. My late surge for Christmas Ogre was a front runner. So that's probably not going to happen very often in this CM. But all I need is for there to be 3 or fewer fronts and paces for this to activate. Alternatively, we just have to catch up to like the slowest pace, which is probably, if there is a pace, which is probably not the hardest thing to do. I've been running Kita TBH. I'm inspired by a Taiwan front player who did Mad Suzuka, Asmaru, and Bourbon. Interesting. I assume front runner is Suzuka. Yes. Can you get Unige to live here? Can you get great like runaway? You got a 75% win rate. I know I can beat that. That's crazy. On this CM, you got a 75% win rate with triple front? I mean, I guess, you know, you don't need her to live? What are you rocketing on? Are you putting NSM on them anyway? Are you like running Yukino Beacon or something? What's the point of the sacrifice Suzuka? Or is it just to pace up? He's just there to pull them along? Front players have psychosis? Nimble Nav? I mean, that'll help. It is really big to have something there, right? Not even running Kita is crazy, though. Fair enough, man. Go for it. I believe in you. Something like this might not be so bad, though. Pure Heart. I mean, there is always Dazzlin' Diver as well, which is a little easier to, right? You have to have activated 2 skills in the mid-race. I mean, that's guaranteed. Like Kita-san and V Bourbon will just be everywhere on this 3200 CM. Too many people pulled for Bourbon and even more pull for Kita the Uma. Please, please. Kita, fair enough. Bourbon, I'm begging you. Please show me a bunch of Valentine Bourbons, right? I'm sure if you put a tremendous amount of work into her, she can work for the CM. But most of the Valentine Bourbons that you see in lobbies are just gonna be fish food, right? Like it's just gonna be free. They're gonna be a fucking NSM proc. That's all you are to me. All you are to me is an NSM proc. Yeah, the problem with all of these is just like, how different are these really than just some white skill? Like, none of these have a chance to activate that late. You know what I mean? Like this, fucking 2nd to 6th. Like, maybe the only reason to go for Pure Heart would be that maybe it would activate later or something. Horses with stam recovery in their kits have an inherent deck building and stat tuning advantage in longs, so Bourbon is pretty strong, TBH. He has a pretty inherent stat tuning advantage over other frontrunners, for sure, right? It's just like, I don't fucking know, man. I see what you mean. I look at 13 and a half lengths, and I'm like, how are you making that up with like inherited Anglican scheming, right? I guess it is the Suzuka Rocket again. You just Suzuka with Nimble Nav, right? But if you have to build the entire comp around letting her do something, that doesn't seem very strong, right? Like if Bourbon is just running out there on her own, she can have a gold recovery built in all she wants. She's getting run the fuck down. Now if you kill a Suzuka for her, if you sacrifice a Suzuka on the altar of Uma Musume, then like valid, I guess. But let me know when your aces are ready, and we'll run the first to 10. Listen, if you're going to build the entire comp around her being able to activate Nimble Nav, then I think that'll probably be pretty good, right? But that doesn't mean that she's that strong. Right? You don't have to build your comp around Gold Chip running your ass down with straightaway spurt. Yeah? If you have to put in God's gift to fucking elbow grease to get it to work, then that's more a reflection of you as a team builder and a player, right? But it's not the Uma being that strong in the CM. But compared to other fronts, I'm sure she'll be easier to build. I mean, she's also just comes with groundwork, right? I don't know, man. It's awkward. I think it's probably a red herring to try and get Christmas Ogre's ultimate to activate at like the late race. It just doesn't seem like there's any reasonable stamina recoveries. Well, at least that'll activate at a good time, right? Everything activates in the fucking mid race. Like, it seems like your best bet is straightaway recovery. Now, funny enough, when they buff straightaway recovery / Bofa, that will also be a Christmas Ogre buff, because in that case, it'll make this a 50-50, right? It'll be a 50-50 as to whether or not it popped on a good straight for me. That'd be awesome. But if we get that, then I have an idea, right? If that comes out with Mant, and they're like, we buffed Bofa and everything's great, then I have an idea. If they didn't do that, then it's probably just a pop it in the mid-race and you know, grit your teeth and bear it type thing. Just hope that you can just mid-race Mog, just build full, which is a valid strategy on backliners in general, right? Is just build as much mid-race as you can and then just trust in your coefficient from then on, even on shorter tracks. So the problem is still that having that one gold recovery. Bringing Creek is kind of annoying here, but you might just have to do it anyway, I guess. Probably do it anyway. Even if because I have to bring my own like shitty Creek. I can't borrow one because my Mant borrow slot is not. It's not even just locked to one. It's just probably like 3 other things that are better to borrow before I borrow Super Creek. So I'll have to babysit my shitty Super Creek. I guess if you do that, it's not too hard. It's like 2 speed, 3 wit Super Creek or something. Yeah, I guess it doesn't sound horrible. She does have 15% stam growth as well, and you have to hit less stam than everyone else, right? Again, 975 with Super Creek and like stam sparks is probably fully doable. This power is interesting, but this I don't know. This might be actually kind of hard to hit because I don't know if you can. I guess it's Mant again. I'm thinking of this through Alharu. I'm like, there's no way you just hit this with 1 stamina card, but I guess you probably fucking do, don't you? So if you can actually bring power sparks, maybe. It's gonna take a lot of like thinking about how to build in this CM is a little bit moot until we have the scenario in our hands and we can really see like what am I getting out of Mant? What are you getting out of Mant? Right? Before you can really target like to deck build, you have to know like roughly. You have to have an idea of what every deck build is going to give you, right? Like if I rock like 2 speed, 3 wit Rico in Alharu, it's because I'm like, yeah, that's going like if I have a speed growth Uma, that's gonna give me like max speed, like over 1,000 wit and like enough stamina for anything that needs like less than 700, right? Like I just know that off the top of my head because we've played the scenario enough times. I have no fucking idea what I should be expecting rocking like Kita-san Black and like MLB Madafaka Borrow or something like that, and like Nice Nature Wit and 2 Wit SRs or something, and Super Creek. I have no idea, right? From what I understand, the card only exists to get the baseline rainbow, then once you have that rainbow, you dump your items to turbo juice it and get like 200 stats in 1 turn. Do the items that buff the stats not scale off of like with the friendship bonus on the cards? Like say that like again, maybe you don't know this, and I don't know this either, but it's just like, you know, say that it's like 10 baseline and you have 50 friendship bonus. Oh, 1.5. So it's 15. Is this then used as a base for like, and then there's an item that doubles what you get out of trading. There's an item that stacks multiplicatively with it that triples what you get out of trading. And there's an item that doubles it again, right? Like this is huge, and this is like most of where your numbers are coming from. But also, if this number was instead 10 instead of 15, it'd be a lot less, right? Like I assume that the baseline stat the card is providing is still relevant there. If it's not, if it's all additive, then yeah, but low-key 23x, by the way. Thank you very much for the follow. Thank you. We don't, yeah, if you don't know in depth, that's fine. I have no fucking idea at all. But yeah, like, it would still be, like, it's gonna take hands-on experience to know, like, okay, if I want this stat line on Christmas Ogre, can I do this with 2 speed, 1 stamina, 3 wit, and power sparks? Is this I have no fucking idea, right? Is this a low ball? Is this a ridiculous high ball? I mean, probably it's not a ridiculous high ball, if I had to guess, if you play this, but, like, I don't know, right? And it's also going to be like, you know, I'm getting better Alharu aces now. Like, if you had asked me what was doable in Alharu 3 months ago, I would have said a lot lower stats and skill points combined than I would today, right? Because I'm just better at playing the scenario. So I'm sure what I can come up, like, maybe this is very easy to do by the time that we've had Mant in our hands for like a month or something, or 2 months. But this CM is going to be 2 weeks after it comes out, right? So maybe I'm ass at it and I can't quite do it yet, right? We'll see. What exactly stat thresholds you're looking at is going to be a hard one. All I know is with max time. We max wit in this household. The Guts build might be popular for frontrunners too, because they could use Ines Fujin SSR, and she has Restless for the heal. That is nice, I guess, yeah. You could just be broken-ass Valentine Bourbon and come with Restless, I think. That's the recovery that she has built in, right? Is Restless? No, that's the wrong bourbon. Mastawa. Masta. Am I stupid? Am I blind? It is Restless, isn't it? This is Valentine Bourbon, right? I'm not stupid. Yeah. Oh, is it her? Is it this? That's just a 0.15. I thought she had a gold recovery in her kit. Her ult is a recovery, which is nice. No? That's S Maru? Oh, it's S. Yes. Yeah. Maru's the one who comes with Restless, right? Yes. Yeah, there you go. That's the one. That's the one. I did not know that Ines Fujin gave you Restless, though. That is nice. Like, that's at least... It's an argument in favor of the Guts build, if nothing else, right? Plus, I guess the spot struggling Guts might have a little bit. So does Mayano Speed. Oh, I mean, okay, never mind. I take it back. Yeah, just, I don't know, man. I'm trying to find something. Guts is a little bit more useful, I guess, for the front runners too, because they can spot struggle, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Interesting. Yeah, so, I mean, who am I running for this? Probably Christmas Ogre. Try and make her work. Again, unless they buff both of these nuts, it probably will just be a pop her ult in the mid race and go for the best. Trying for something like this stat line. 1 gold, 2 whites, and something like this. Better if we can, right? And then just as many fucking mid race speed skills as you could possibly jam in on Uma. And then I'm probably just going to be boring and run... Ooh! Is Gold Chip off my team? Gold Chip might be off my team. That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't think she's... Well, hold on. Hold on. Because my question is, like, I now have Tamamo Crossia. And, like... I mean, she's an end closer. She's got, like, Anchors Away, but a little better. Maybe? Right? I mean, this is probably just gonna... Well, this is just better Anchors Away, I guess. Well, is it? This is 5 times 0.35. This is 6... Because Anchors Away is 6 seconds more work. Yeah, but I fuck with Tamamo Cross. I'll do some work. Because you have to get... You gotta get Uma stand for her? Yeah. She doesn't come with Spurt either, right? She comes with just Tail 9. Fast and Furious is a damn shame. Yeah, maybe? Oh, she does come with Spurt. She comes with Spurt. Okay, so yeah, Gold Chip comes with... what's Tama's Mile Aptitude? She doesn't have a Recovery. Also true. She does have 20% stat growth, just like Gold Chip. Her Mile Aptitude is E. So you can make it work if you want to run her for, like... I mean, not Aquarius, because it's E, Mile, F, Dirt. Right? But you can make her work on Miles for sure. You just need 10 sparks and she gets there. No recovery built in. That is true. That is true. That is fucked up and true. So, I mean... No, to be fair, you only need the one. Right? You only need the one. You want Mile Sparks for Mant in general? Oh, because you can't race as much. You can't fucking race as much. That's true. Enough for C at least. That is really annoying. I mean, there are a lot of mediums and longs, but a lot of the races are Mile, certainly. What's different with end closers this time is they have access to Daring Strike now from Advire Vega SSR, so everyone can be a native Gold Chip now when it comes to mid-race. Yeah, but you know what's better than having Daring Strike and being like Gold Chip? It's having Daring Strike and being Gold Chip, right? You know what's better than Daring Strike with nothing else? Daring Strike and Anchors Away. Like, it doesn't really change any benefit that... Like, Gold Chip is always going to have Anchors Away on your ass. Like, no matter what you do. Right? Like, oh, I'm an end closer. I can Daring Strike now. Yeah, too bad. I can Daring Strike and still get... What is this? 12, 18... I can get 19.2 seconds of 0.25 on your ass, right? Which, again, is 19.2 times 0.25 is 4.8 lengths, right? The introduction of Daring Strike doesn't really... Like, doesn't make her any worse, anyway. It makes all end closers better, I guess, but doesn't make her any worse, certainly. That's a lot of fucking lengths. Herm. I do fuck with Tamamo. I might try and make it work. It'll be my first time running her in a CM. But after watching Cinderella Grey, honestly, I'm like, Tamamo is kind of maybe my second favorite. So I think we can make it work. The only thing, the reason I say, because Christmas Ogre, Tamamo, what then? I don't know, man. I feel like it's really hard to not run. As much as I fucking hate building her, it seems it's a rough sell to not run you. I feel like, you know what I mean? It's just coming with no stopping me, but this shit's tough. Like, it is really like, now that Alharu's gone, it's really tough to just look this in the face and go, who cares? Oh, so she comes with no stopping me. Who gives a fuck? I don't know, man. So what am I gonna do? Fucking Yukin LB Jib? Oh, I don't think so. Right? Nimble Nav is good. Nimble Nav is good, but it is. I mean, this is for the entire acceleration phase, and it's literally twice as good. Right? Guarantees fast learner too. Very high chance of fast learner, and it's easy to get spurt on her. It's just getting Uma Stan, right? Guaranteed. Much better than every other Uma in the game, for sure. Significantly, like 10 times the chance of every other Uma in the game getting it, but I don't know about guaranteed. Maya's Love Advice can always just pop too early, right? And then you get cooked. But you can play around it at least. You can focus with early to try and make it so that you have the best chances of getting it anyway. Because even if you're not at 500, it is still on an Agemasen, right? I guess if you get unlucky, I mean, guaranteed means guaranteed. Does Maya's race event still work in Mant? Oh, it doesn't. You can't get Spurt on her. That's true. She doesn't come with Spurt baseline. That's true. Now, to be fair, No Stopping Me is like 3 times as good as Spurt. Genuinely? This is 0.4 for the entire acceleration phase. Oh, 6 times as good as Spurt. Right? Spurt is for like, this is going to be about 3 seconds. So for like 40% of the acceleration phase is going to be 0.2. This is going to be 0.4 for the entire time, I think. So I mean, even if you run her without Spurt, compared to like an end closer that has like nimble nav and straightaway Spurt, it's going to be way better for her to just have like someone with NSM, or sorry, someone with nimble nav plus Spurt is pretty mogged by someone with just NSM, right? So even if you can't, like, it's still very nice to have to just have this, but you can RNG off the rival races, just RNG Spurt from races. I mean, every race has what, a 10% chance to give you a hint, and then it's spread out. I actually don't know what the method for just, like, is that just what you do? Like, is there a built-in Mant mechanic that just spits out skills at you the way that the Alharu bursts do? I do not know the answer to this question. Why not just go all in with Cinderella Grey, Team Ogre, Tamamo Creek? My Super Creek is 2 stars. That'll be the answer to that question. And also, I like Creek. I don't like Creek that much. You know what I mean? I like Ogre enough that I will run her in basically every CM that I can, and luckily her aptitudes work for this. I like Tamawa enough that if it's like feasible for her to run on a track, I will do it. I don't have as much of a attachment to Inari 1 or Super Creek yet. Anyway, maybe as I've not read the Cinderella Grey manga yet because I do not want to get, basically I want to wait for it to be animated, and I'm willing to wait, and I want to watch it with my friends and stuff. Maybe as that goes on, I'll fuck with them more. But for now, it really is just the Tamamo and Ogre show for me personally. So the third one is going to be either Gold Chip or Maya, and probably Maya. So now as a mechanic, giving you a skill based on the style you raced in for rival races, I believe. I don't know what that is, but I did hear you did say that earlier too. I don't know what a rival race is, but like, hopefully there's a lot of them, I guess. Hopefully there's a lot of them. But yeah, Maya seems a little Thanosian for this, no? Though I mean, Bofa sucks, right? So you're going, yeah, that is like, unless they buff that. If they buff this, when they buff this, it activates on a straight in the mid race, like specifically, right? Because like, if they buff this, this is just damn near swinging Maestro, like it's like the same, right? I think they're both comparable. I think I prefer the better recovery. I think No Stopping Me is a really fucking insane. Like, this is, again, this is better than, this is like Kita-san ult, man. It's not better, because you'll get some speed off of it too. This is just fucking Kita-san ult. And it should be very consistent in when it activates. But it's Kita-san ult you can put on a backliner, right? There's a very good reason there is no backliner that has an ult like Kita-san's, because they would be unbeatable on longs. It's great, you're correct. I think it's like great enough that it is maybe worth having to bring a card to get her an actual usable gold recovery. Now, if they buff, if, you know, when like the first anniversary part 2 or 3 or something hits, and they give, like, if when Mank drops, they give us a big patch, and in that patch, they're like, guess what? Bofa now activates on a mid-race straight instead of a random straight. Yeah, this is just like the best horse for the CM, probably, right? As much as I hate to admit it. Like, if the gold recovery built into her kit is also just amazing now, then it's like, what the fuck how do you even, you have to like build comps to beat this horse, it feels like, right? Especially if it is reasonable to actually get Spurt randomly off those races in Mant. Like, what the fuck, what do you even do, man? What do you even do? I mean, I guess her mile's low, you have to work on that, but this will be truly ridiculous, I think, on a 3200 if Bofo is also good. Does it get to B? Yeah, it's still annoying to have to waste those sparks, but I mean, for career, you can probably get away with C even a lot of the time, right? Some of those earlier game miles might be annoying, but like, eventually you just, I mean, I imagine especially in Mant too, right? Because the AI do not seem to scale up like the random, maybe like special scenario Umas and stuff like that. But like random ass NPC Umas, their stats are the same in Alharu as they are in URA, I think, right? So you're still gonna be running against people with like 500 in all of their stats, if they're lucky, and you're just gonna, I mean, even Mile C, you should probably absolutely mog them as you scale into the late race, or into the late game, like Classic Year, Senior Year, stuff like that. Mile D is maybe a little too hard, though. Mile D is maybe still a little too... I mean, maybe you could make it work, but that probably is only a senior year type situation. This seems like a pretty good horse, though, for the CM, right? Gold Chip is still the easiest one to build. Well, no, I say that. I do say that. Gold Chip, you are going to have to find... Because she didn't get Nimble Nav either. She has a great recovery, right? She comes with Umastan, which is obviously both of those are mission critical. But she actually doesn't get Spurt or NSM anymore, or Nimble Nav even, right? So you are gonna have to get how do you get Nimble Nav on someone? Just like that's gonna be a very important. NSM is unfortunately only you can Obedient or have it, dumbass. But like, how do you get Nimble Nav on a guy? I know Vodka can get it, but you probably don't want to do that. Fine Motion. Ah yes, I forgot she does that. That's true. Ooh, the Maya Speed card actually is what this Maya Speed card, man. The Maya Speed card or Fine Motion. Parent? Sure. Yeah, but I mean, Fine Motion does it. It's pretty good. Now, Fine Motion gets it off a hint, and I think she doesn't have that many hints, but she can do it. I've gotten Nimble Nav off of you quite a few times, right? She only has the 5 hints, so it's a 1 in 6 every time that you get it. Now, I will say, is this right-handed? I actually forget. Is this a right-handed track? Obviously, Fall Runner. Actually, wait, is this is a Spring Runner, right? Left-handed track. No, this is Aquarius. Right-handed track. Okay, I mean, surprise, surprise. I think loading up on Nimble Nav and Ignited Power Sparks will serve me well for years to come. I did not do that. I did not do that. I certainly be very nice to have Ignited Spirit Power is going to be nice to have moving forward. I don't know how on this track it's a little yikes, but it'll be very nice to have moving forward, certainly. It's still nice to have. It's not like it's bad. This is like, it's not going to be a Premier Excel here, I don't think. But yeah, I mean, Fine Mo. That's a nice and easy one. Fine Motion is really good for that. Zeno Rob Roy as well, huh? How interesting. How interesting, man. You have Nimble Nav off a hint. Yeah, you do. You do. Now you have a few more hints. That's a little ass. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1 in 8 instead of 1 in 6, but might grab straight away Excel if we have too many skill points. Good luck. Good luck. I would say there's probably, I mean, there's a lot better shit you can grab, but could be good. If it hits on exactly one of the 4 straights, on exactly like 30% of the way, or 70% of the way into it, it'll be pretty good. It's like a 1 in 10 chance it goes nuts. For sure. This Vodka Speed card can give it to, I know this SSR, or this SR is not very good if I remember correctly, but yeah, that's the big one, right? It's hard to get Nimble Nav on a guy, I will say, just off of like cards and shit. You will like definitely parents with a Nimble Nav Spark is gonna be very valuable, but like they better have good ones, and you better still have like a backup, like an inconsistent way to get, because like it's really hard to do anything without at least this, right? Because there's so many of the Excels are just not that good, and Spurt by itself, because all of the Excels are so ass, like maybe Spurt by itself is fine. But like Spurt by itself is just not very much of anything, right? Yeah, it seems so. I don't know, man. Mayano Chopped Gun. She might be kind of goated. I don't know, man. I don't fucking know, man. It is gonna be a damn shame. You're gonna have to like bring a Super Creek or something. Does anyone give you Go Home Specialist? Gonna be a Brave Soul that will run Kawakami Princess on Pisces just because she has NSM. I mean, if you need 10. It's not impossible, but you'd need 10 long sparks. And then you would need to hit 2 inspirations? No, to get distance S, right? You need to hit 1 inspiration to get long A and 2 to get long S. It could happen. And NSM is really, 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 really good. You could maybe get away with long A on her ass. Maybe. If you're running against people who don't have NSM and you do have it. But slap it on Tama. Nothing gives you this. Really, it's just Gold Cube who comes with it. My Taishin Wit card can be used. What is this? What does that card do again? That card provides... It's a recovery, but I forget which one. Sleeping Lion? Is that what it does? Yeah, Sleeping Lion. I mean, this should be pretty consistent. I don't think people are running... Maybe people are going to be running the Haru fuckery again, but I think this should probably be fine. Most of the time. Most of the time, that is. Yeah, it's weird. It's an odd track. It's that it really is just that corner being as far away as it is. I turned off or I closed the racetrack. Short. Hanshin. it really, like, this corner being as far away from the late race as it is makes things quite awkward, right? Like, it really does make it so that it's like, oh, like, it's Nimble Nav or NSM or Spurt or Kitasan ult, right? Good luck. Like, a lot of, like, you know, Anglican Scheming is not really good here. Even if you're, like, pacing or something, it's not really good here. Obviously, a lot of the, like, you know, shit, like, I mean, Redshift, obviously, like, any final corner stuff is completely worthless. Like, Iron and Moving Past is not really good here either. Oh, does Moving Past even work on this track? Isn't Moving Past if the final corner is in the mid race or if the final corner is in the late race? Like, I thought Moving Past and Beyond was specifically... It was a poll plan day, then it was a tier list day, but actually it was a 10-0 show spring Theorycraft day. This track is more complicated than I thought it was going to be. You have to be on the final corner. This doesn't work at all. Because the final corner is not in the late race. It'll proc on the corner? Yeah, and give you acceleration. Over here. Oh. It'll give you acceleration here. No? Am I misunderstanding? This doesn't work at all. It's not a corner in the late race. It's the final corner in the late race. Yes? No? Explain. Oh! Final corner equals 0. Never mind. Never mind. Yep, yep. I am reading it wrong. I always read that. Yeah, I always read that wrong. Okay, yeah. So it's just bad though. It's got the same problem that like Iron has too. Yeah. Yeah, it's just like it really is a dearth of good accelerations. Like, I'm gonna bring On Your Left. Don't get me wrong. Right? I'm gonna put On Your Left on that shit, but it really is gonna be, again, like a 1 in 5 chance to be good or something. Like, if it procs in the first 100 meters, that is pretty solid, right? At the very least, it'll be fine, right? And there is only a, like, 1 in 5, a little less than a 1 in 5 chance of that happening, right? I'll bring it. More like on your knees and pray. Yep. I'll bring it, but it really is going to be, man. Yeah, it might be a... It might be, for me, it might be Christmas Ogre, Tamamo Cross, and Mayano Top Gun. I think. That sounds like the team. Probably. We go. I've never built Tama before. She comes with Fast and Furious, which is really interesting. She does also come with Spurt though. Fast and Furious. She might be better than Spurt, man. Just another extra gold skill mid race. Along with Tail 9. You can really have her fucking count down from 10. That was funny. On your knees. Yeah. You can really have her ass count down from 10 and just fucking zoom in the mid-race, huh? With, like, multiple mid-race gold skills. Power growth. Yeah. This is the exact same growth as the gold ship. Her ult is also a mid-race skill. Right? Late or end Tama? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to decide right now. I mean, the recovery I'm putting on her is probably Maestro anyway, so it doesn't matter there. I mean, Spurt it is just nice to have a consistent excel. That is certainly very nice. Gold tail held high is not fair, right? I probably will, you know why? I'll probably run her end because I don't want to run any other late surgers because I want Christmas Ogre to be able to... I might end up deciding on running one of those position-based stamina recoveries, like Pure Heart or U equals MA squared or something. If not to proc the ult late, literally just because it's kind of like, you notice I put Passing Pro in here, right? This is a good skill, but this doesn't just like fall out of trees, right? Like it might just be kind of hard to find two great whites. I mean, 777s is too late, right? At least Spurt is something. Yeah. This is a great skill, but like, where am I getting this shit? You know what I mean? So I think Spurt is something. Spurt is great. It's also just like, I'm like, Spurt's great, but also, I mean, so is Fast and Furious, right? White Lightning coming through 6th or 7th. Oh my god. That, I mean, that would also be probably more likely to pop if you're an end closer, right? Like, unironically, in a lot of fucking scenarios here, if you're late, you might be more often getting fucking this one than this one. Yeah, probably end Tama. Probably end Tama. End Tama. Gonna have to look Fast and Furious in the eye and say no thank you, which is very sad. No thank you, no thank you. She has updrafters too, huh? That's cool. But yeah, end Tama, gold tail held high and straightaway spurt. You just gotta find a way. Could do shake and use spurt, nimble, and some other late skill to gamble for the proc there. Oh, shake it out? You're talking about for Christmas Ogre, huh? Some other skill is the problem. Also, I mean, that'll be running end Christmas Ogre, which you could do. You could do. You could do. It's not, like, impossible. So, it's not impossible, certainly. Right? Her end is D, so it's not the hardest thing in the world to get her up to A there. It's a little bit of a waste of sparks, but not a waste of sparks, but you're using your sparks. Shake it out. The problem is, what is that third recovery? Or that third skill? Fucking... Like, how do you even get this to be remotely? Cause if it's like 1 in 2 races, we can maybe fucking take that. But like, how do you even get it to there? Like, as many pressure unironically? Uresha. This is also slightly increased velocity when passing another runner. You know? You know? Oh god, oh fuck, with Air Shakur time. That's an interesting idea. It's very silly, yeah. The problem is a small breather, you can't, like, you could use that on the sprint, you can't use that here, really. It's very silly, but it can work. That is a interesting idea you've provided me. I wonder if there's any way to make that work for late. You can use pressure, and you can use nimble nav, but will your third one be there if you're a late surger? A small breather is not going to work. Pressure. Overwhelming pressure is this pressure gold. Ooh, an inherited ult. An inherited ult. An inherited ult. An inherited ult, you say? What are the requirements for your ult? Ah, okay, you got me. I was gonna say at first I was like, there's no way, right? I was like, an inherited ult, you say? You got me, you got me, you got me, you got me. You caught me looking. You caught me, you made me look. You made me look. That's no, that's fair. You got me. An inherited ult. An inherited ult. I mean, Slick Surge, yeah, but that's huge Gamba. Inherited ult. Yes? Okay. I guess it's not the worst thing. No, but the problem is he's not going to be full spurting, right? It's like 60 meters is roughly how much... Yeah, I was going to say it's probably not a bad thing if, like, Iron pops this or something like that. But that's 113 meters. You're probably not full spurting if you do that. Like let's say exactly this, right? Let's say it's like Swinging Maestro, and sure, Be Still, and then Shake It Out is our final one. And then we have like Nimble Nav and Pressure and like Iron. The simulator will always assume that Iron will pop, right? Obviously, this the one problem with this is the problem with this in the first place is that this is incredibly inconsistent. But just I want to even see hypothetically. Uma 1 is red, yeah? Yeah, she's delaying her spurt rate 70% still. What the fuck? No, she's blue. Oh, right. That's Taiku's fucking. No, it's the. Oh yeah, it's this Mile Ogre that's exploding. Yeah. Let's put this. Let's just compare this real quick to someone who's actually full spurting. Spurt rate 0%. Oh. I was gonna say, what the fuck? There you go. Like he's not gonna full spurt without the ult, but is it really enough to actually slow her down? Oh, they're having Nimble Nav pop way too late. I mean, it could happen here for sure, but you know what? In that case, just for the sake of, let's instead of putting yeah, instead of putting Nimble Nav here, let's do moving past and beyond. Again, it'll assume it'll activate at the right time. And then Festive Miracle will... What? What has happened? I was thinking about it. I'm not saying they don't pop at all. How interesting. Pressure, moving past, and iron. Let's pump some iron. Pressure. Oh, it doesn't have moving past popping. That's strange. Anyway, I mean, the problem with this, even... I was thinking about this at first, and I was like... Again, the problem with this is these guys are not consistent pops, right? You would need... What's like an ult that pops on... What's an ult that pops on like a straight in the late race? Even if it's like speed, then it's completely worthless. Late race. I mean, this is them, right? Saying Sky Ballroom. But this is probably, again, this needs, what's it called? This needs positioning, right? Yeah. Special Week Commander, excuse me. It's so close, but I don't know if you can actually get this to work in any reasonable capacity. You know what I mean? What is Go with the Flow? Go with the Flow is medium? Oh, no, it's here. Is this random? Shit. Okay. I need, like, one thing that pops the start of the late race, even if it's worthless. But I can't think of it. I cannot think. I don't know if it exists. I need an ult or a skill. Because we have Nimble Nav, we have Pressure. How the fuck we get those? I don't know. Well, Nimble Nav is fine, but we can figure out Pressure somehow. But, like, what if this was to work, what would the third one even be? Do you just get a bunch of phase random late race ones and hope? Like, you grab, like, Slick Surge and a Small Breather and? If you're getting a Small Breather, though, that's just popping already, but I guess that's some amount of insurance. Like, if you slam enough 20% chances, one of them might work. Is this worth it? It kind of... Maybe Spare? Shooting Star. You have to be 1st to 5th. That's doable. You have to pass someone. You know... Obviously, this is going to be like a useless... Yes, a useless skill. Inherited. But... You know... This is something. I am not going to... I'm going to build a normal Christmas Ogre first. And then if I have the time, I will try and build a Shake It Out Christmas Ogre. It feels like... If you can essentially, right? Her ult is just Kitasan ult. Yeah? With a stamina recovery attack. That's not really relevant here. Her ult is just Kitasan ult. If you can get this to activate even remotely consistently on a backliner, it's ridiculously OP, right? It's so much effort though, and it probably is not worth the sacrifices you will have to make for the build around in the first place. But it's a really funny idea. It's a really funny idea. Makes me want to see if I can try it, right? But probably I will just build a regular-ass Christmas Ogre that pops her ult in the mid-race and then tries to run people down from there. And then, once I have one that I'm satisfied with, then we can try and build, like... If you're gonna do this, you might as well full commit and end close her ass, right? You might as well full commit and end close her ass, because the most consistent way to do this will just be Spurt, Nimble Nav, and Pressure. Now, how the fuck you get straight away Spurt on her? Hopefully those rival races are good, man. Or we fucking run... Shakur. No, I'm not doing that shit. I'm not doing that shit. A good parent or something. It's such an interesting idea. It's such a fucked up, interesting idea. Sweep speed, yeah. I mean, we'll have the race bonus already. Sweep speed is a fine choice. My problem is I feel like I'm probably losing out a lot on not basically fucking borrowing. It'll have to basically how tied up my borrow slot is gonna be determined heavily by playing the scenario. And sweep's also 10% race bonus. Yeah. It's gonna be tied up by playing the scenario and you know, feeling out how good this feels to have. You know what I mean? Like, if this 150 initial stats and all the training help, if this feels as good to have as I think it will, is Crusader a late skill? Is Crusader a late skill? It is an end closer skill. Running Sweep SSR is totally valid, but I don't have it, so I have to borrow it. Late race, but is it phase random? It is phase random, yeah. But it's another option. But this is a gold skill for this feels a little. I know we're gonna be drowning in skill points, but surely there's something better you can do than buying Crusader. I guess you can buy Strategist. Why not? Why buy Crusader, right? You really just want the skill pop? This is a fucking weird ass idea, but it is very interesting, right? It is very interesting to a guy like me. Enjoy that borrow slot while you can. Throne will consume all. Yeah. I mean, maybe it's a borrow angle. Maybe we just run Sweep Tosho to get Nimble Nav, or no, to get what's it called? Spurt on her. Christmas Ogre does not come with Nimble Nav, unfortunately, right? It's the what's it called? Fucking regular Ogre gets Nimble Nav baseline. You do not. Inexperience is gonna be nice though, right? It's gonna be a nice finishing skill. Man, you really got me fucked up. What an interesting fucking build. Bad, probably. Well, if it goes off, ridiculous. But I don't know if you can get it to consistently do so. Because even like Spurt, Nimble Nav, and Pressure, if you assume that all of those, if you assume that all of those will go off at a perfect time, 100% of the time, right? Then you need 6 total skill procs to get your ult, which is a 6-7% chance, right? It's a 6-7% chance, which is, this is being incredibly, right? This is being incredibly generous to assume that all 3 of, like, Spurt and is gonna pop if you can pass the wit check, that's fine. But like, Nimble Nav should be most of the time, like 80% of races or something, you should have a Nimble Nav target, right? But then like, yeah, and that's already cutting into that a little bit. Like if we did this like times 0.8, that might even be a little generous. And then like Pressure is you got to pass someone in the late race. I mean, that'll happen too, right? But maybe that's like also 80% of the time that it happens or something, right? So you got boom. It's like a 43% chance that this goes off. Now, when this goes off, it probably wins, right? Like if this goes off at you know, early, even remotely early in the late race, probably wins. So, you know, if this is like a 35% win rate on this one Uma or something, that's pretty good. But there's a lot of confounding, like this is probably very optimistic. Even this 43% figure is probably very, very, very optimistic. And there's also just a lot of difficulty in building this in the first place, right? So, interesting ass strategy. But yeah, 777s will be perfect for this if it wasn't, you know, fucking over here. Right, if 777s didn't pop right there, it will be awesome. But it does pop right there. Interesting strategy, certainly. But again, it'll be a backup. We'll make a normal Christmas Ogre first, and then go from there. And then Tamalocross, yeah, and then probably Nimble Nav. Well, I almost called her. I meant to say No Stopping Me, and then I was gonna realize that I called her No Stopping Me. Instead of Mayano Top Gun, I just referred to her accidentally as No Stopping Me. But yes, probably No Stopping Me will be the 3rd horse on my team, if I had to guess. Probably end late. Like end Tama, end No Stopping Me, and then end Christmas Ogre. Or late Christmas Ogre. Is probably going to be the play. Non-stop girl. She's a non-stop girl, man. She do never stop. Except for the Tokai Teo season, where she has stopped the entire season. Is she not a... Oh, no, there's one time where she's awake on screen in the Teo season, right? I believe very early on. No Stopping Me, Chan? Yeah. She's awake for one scene in the Tail season. Otherwise, she's just asleep the entire time, and the opening is the only other time you ever see her. Yeah, I think No Stopping Me, Chan here is going to be a pretty good addition, certainly. Sure, man. Sure, Mant. Sure, Track Blazer. Okay, Track Blazer. Okay, Track Blazer. Whatever you say, Track Blazer. Wait a minute. What are we waiting? Okay, Track Blazer. I mean, her ult, by the way, her ult is kind of interesting too, right? Some finishing speed, mostly, right? It might not happen ever, but it's not a complete 0 necessarily. Mayano top Jun, Mayano top G. Oh, Jesus Christ. No wonder I didn't like her. Mance GG. Oh, I thought you were going somewhere else with that. That you know what? Okay, Trackblazer. Whatever you say, Trackblazer. Cool. What a weird fucking CM to play. This is definitely just like, you know, you take a fucking parent farm until, right? You parent farm for the next 8 days, and then when Mant comes out, you can start popping some aces. Because like, I mean, like, there's just no way you can make an Alharu. Listen, I understand this is not at all a realistic run. Like, most people are probably getting like 700 fewer total stats from this or something like that. But even take that for a second. Imagine that the total stats here, right? If this was like, if this power was lowered by 400 and this stamina was lowered by 400, right? This would still be better than like most Alharu high rolls. Or at least in terms of not the stat distribution, but like the raw overall. This is with R cards. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know, man. Like, it's got to be so hard to ever make something competitive, like anything from Alharu that can compete with anything in Mant, no matter how lucky you get, damn near, basically. Is this half AP campaign going to still be going on with Mant releases? It's for 42 days from when it started, so it'll be going on for a long time. SS parents should be possible for Mant. I'm saying, like, you farm your parents in Alharu now, grab as many fucking ignited speed power sparks as you can for the future. And then, or just chill, maybe, because like ace building right now for this is probably a futile effort, right? Like, if you're like, I'm gonna build my Pisces Cup ace in Unity Cup, good luck. I mean, you can maybe do it, but this is not like one of those cases. It's not like with Alharu where the actual scenario came out like the day finals were happening. Nah, man, this is, if Mant is coming out on the 12th, there's 2 weeks. Yeah, there's 2 weeks between potential Mant release on the 12th, which I think maybe has been confirmed as well, but I can't remember where I saw that. It's all mentioned March 12th, but I had heard that as well. I can't remember where that was mentioned. And actual Pisces Cup, right? So like, there's gonna be plenty of time for people to at least make bad Mant aces, like bad Mant aces, which probably will mog your Alharu high roll if I had to guess. We basically have infinite energy because by the time you finish a run, you probably already have half the AP regenerated. I mean, especially those Mant runs I've heard can be pretty long if you're thonk maxing, and especially when you're new to the scenario, and that thonk maxing will probably take you a lot longer to do as well. You're not gonna have all your heuristics built up yet. Very exciting though. I'm very excited for Mant to just baseline. And if it's going to come, like, maybe this is not gonna be a thing where every scenario comes with a patch. That may have just been, you know, like, the patch that was supposed to happen on the first anniversary happened at Alharu instead, and then we're not going to get the second anniversary, or I think it was the second anniversary patch, until a while later, maybe. But I'm very excited if Mant is also going to come with a patch, right? It basically kind of does already, just because not a patch, but like the landscape of the game changes entirely with the new scenario, right? Like, what is possible, what is accomplishable, what cards are good, what cards are bad. Final Top Gun, right? Just by the we didn't get to it. We didn't get to the tier list today. Maybe we'll actually finish that, or try to finish that tomorrow. Now that I remember, since we're not really in ace building territory right now. But like, guess what, man? I'm gonna be doing this tier list as if we're still in Alharu, and I think we had gotten to her, and I was like, yeah, it's kind of nice. But like Maya, essentially, she comes with a worthless recovery right now, and a worthless acceleration, too, in Alharu, right? Like, her kit is kind of awful, because why the fuck do I care about Bofa? And everyone has no stopping me, so who cares? Guess what, man? Suddenly, they fucking buff Breath of Fresh Air, and they buff No Stop Me, and this is, like, one of the best horses in the game. Like, this is basically, like, one of those GOAT tier horses for every long CM forever, until the meta shifts once again, right? Like, it is, like, just by Mant releasing, like, huge... This is probably the biggest, like, glow up that happens, is just like, again, if they buff Bofa and No Stopping Me becomes like a thing that just Maya gets, basically, like her and Kawakami Princess. This probably is the single biggest glow up that happens between Alharu and Mant. But like, a lot of things are gonna change like that, right? Is because what is attainable at stat wise, and then also what skills are easily accessible is also gonna change pretty rapidly, right? So it already is kind of like a patch, but if also just gave us a patch. I don't know what, like, I know the Evo skills patch was the second year for Japan. We are moving at about 40% faster than they are. So it's like, Like, we would probably, like, what is fucking 24 times, like, 0.6, roughly, right? Like, we would expect it a little bit after a year in the game, which we're getting there. We're getting there. I don't know if they would move it. I don't know if they would expedite it. That'll be even more than normal, right? But that is what happened with the first anniversary patch. We got the first anniversary patch 4 months in, right? So it's entirely possible that they're just going to be patch maxing us, and everything I just mentioned is fucking moot because, like, fucking 15 days from now, they're like, guess what, man? Your fucking skills are pink now, dumbass. I don't think so. But maybe. I mean, a lot of that patch, I think, was also designed for some Christmas Ogre mogging as well. Now, she's not going to be that much of a problem in Pisces, I don't think. But certainly she will continue to be pretty schnutty as time goes on, right? Yeah, it's like, wait, yeah, it's like, fuck it, dumbass, your skills are pink now? Maybe? And then it's like, I don't know, man, the best fucking horse to the track is Commander of Japan, Game of the Year 2025, Little Spica, Agemasen Special Week? Maybe. I don't think so. I mean, I don't know what her Evo skills are, but I know a lot of horses that were not very good get a little better after this patch, right? Like, I think Original Teo was one of the ones that I heard got some decent ones, maybe. The description of the skill has recently changed. Retranslation is pending. Wait, did they buff it again? What the fuck? When you move left or right, your acceleration and speed will slightly increase. Still seems bad. I mean, it's nice that it's speed now, but this 0.4 excel feels like it will be very wasted very often. Oh, maybe I was lied to. Why is she getting all this acceleration in the mid-race, man? What's wrong with people? At a random point during the middle, like, I mean, I guess this is an ult, to be fair, right? But again, it's like an accelerate. It's an ult where most of its acceleration it happens in the mid-race. I don't know. Maybe I was lied to. I mean, you can see like those skills are at the very least a very big deal. Like she just gets a fucking ult on her shit. We'll see, man. We'll see. Anyway, so much for poll plan, huh? I mean, real quickly, I guess. Real quickly. The only thing, right, is basically as I've gotten a little, in my opinion, better at the video game, I have kind of been very skill-pilled. And seeing what people are doing in Mant, it's maybe even more so, where it feels like the skills that cards give you are significantly more important than how good they are as a stat stick, right? And Saramaru has lots of really good skills. I mean, these are good agnostically, right? But she has lots of really good skills. If you're building if you have a front runner, every single thing besides like 777s maybe, and occasionally Summer Runner, is going to be very good, right? Straightaways, corners, leader's pride, slipstream, PTO, early lead, groundwork, right? Focus. I mean, focus is at least a groundwork trigger, right? If nothing else. So like these are all very great skills if you're playing a front runner. If you're not, he has slipstream, and play teams over. Yeah, that's right. And like I guess 777s if you're running Christmas Ogre, I guess. But like her, and then obviously she gives you focus here, and she gives you top runner. What the fuck is top front runner? Another gold front runner skill. It's the gold leader's pride, right? Yeah. So like all of her skills are completely worthless by and large if you're not a front runner. But I was like, hey, she is an amazing stat stick, giving you in the late game where you're getting the biggest clicks anyway, giving you 25 TE, right? Or 20 TE. That's really fucking good. My wonder has been, do I give a fuck that she's an amazing stat stick when all of her skills are worthless for me? And the answer might still be yes, kind of. Like, I don't think it makes her ass. I think, though, that before I looked at this Fine Mo and Summermaru banner, and I was like, Jesus Christ, this banner is fucking ridiculous. It's like a god tier wit card and like a god tier card. But I think Summermaru probably is really, really good if you're a front main, but for me, I'm not. So it's like a god tier wit card and like a define card, which is still better, to be fair, than most of the other banners. I'm just like, would I rather pull on Fine Mo and Kawakami Princess? Probably not. Does Kawakami Princess have? Let me ask that question seriously for a second. But I don't think Kawakami Princess has literally anything I care about. Center stage. Wow. Right. Good for team trials. But I mean, I'd certainly rather pull on not on fucking like if I'm gonna like I would like center stage is amazing. I mean again, 4 fronts. Oh, I guess, yeah, early race as well. Yeah. This is prudent positioning gold. Yeah. Again, not really important for me, right? Fine Mo becomes obsolete 4 months after that? What do you mean by this? Are you saying, is that because Mejiro Ramonu comes out? Is that what you're saying to me? Because one wit card being better than you does not make you obsolete, I don't think. I assume, relatively at least, there's no relative obsolescence, right? That's not how that word works. I assume you're talking about this banner, right? Having a wit card be better than you does not make you obsolete when I'm running 3 wit. Hell, if I'm running 2 wit, right? Like, guess what? Nice Nature is not the best wit card in the game right now. I mean, maybe for lates, honestly, it meant. But even if she was second to Fine Motion, it's still good to run both of them, right? So I disagree with your logic rather heavily, right? You only run 1 wit in Lark. This is a year from now? Is that what you're saying? That is not the scenario after Mant. The scenario after the scenario. That's the scenario after Grand Live, yeah? If you get 8 months of value out of your Fine Motion, that's a pretty good pull. Most cards will not give you 8 months of value. Kita-san will give you like 2 years of value, but that card is broken. If you like MLB Fine Motion on that banner and 8 months later you don't use her anymore, congratulations. You spent your resources well, right? Most cards are probably not going to give you 8 months of value, right? Fuck, I don't even know if Ramotu is going to give you 8 months. I don't know what comes out 8 months after her, but Nice Nature will probably be the best wit card in Man. She has the highest race bonus for wits. I know. I have her MLB. I'm very happy about it. So like, if your logic is don't pull on that banner because 8 months after you pull on it, the card isn't good anymore, you would never pull on any banner ever, probably, right? I don't know what cards go like a year until they're power crept whose names aren't Kita-san, Super Creek, or Fine Motion, right? Though we're very far into Fine Motion's lifespan already anyway. I don't know what cards take a year to get power crept besides that, but you would pull on those cards absolutely, right? And if they take 8 months, you probably pull on those cards too. So my spill is that since you have NN and don't really need SMR, I was thinking about if you need to lock in the Foshin instead of the gauntlet that starts after Ramonu. So my big thing is just that I usually like to pull on support banners where I want. Let me just go support banners for now. We can look at Ubas in a second. I like to pull on support banners where I want both of the cards at least a little bit, right? Like if one of them is really what the fuck? Oh, I need to redo the search, right? Yeah. If one of them is really good and the other one is at least like one of them's like amazing and the other one's good, I'm happy to do that, right? And this maybe still fits into that mold, honestly. It might Summer Maru might still be like a decent card to bring, even for non-fronts, but only decent. I don't think I could probably give her much more than that, personally. So like great plus decent, that is still better than most of the banners until this, anyway. Right? Like obviously there's Light Hello and Agnes Tachyon, but like most of the banners until this are worse than that. Are worse than great plus decent, right? They're either great plus ass, like the Kali Kami Princess and Fine Motion banner, or they're like two kind of mid cards, like the Pasa Guts and the Mambo Wit, right? So, really, if I'm not going to pull on this banner, it would be saving my carrots even further into the future for something else. But it's like, at what point are we just saving too much? Like, at what point am I supposed to spend these fucking things, right? Like, I have what I'm gonna put in to like the Light Hello Tachyon banner. I already have plus excess now, right? I have the entire amount of Mant to get that, and then the Fine Motion Saramaru banner is after that too, right? So what about the Ramonu Pake ECP banner? Are you not pulling CB? I'm not generally an end closer player, personally. Now, that was interesting. Creek CB is interesting because it's another one of those like god tier, good tier cards for a guy like me, right? That was one of the banners I was looking at this afternoon, actually, right? Is Super Creek and Mr. CB here, because even outside of Daring Strike, right, Mr. CB is a little better than Summer Maru if for like not her position, because she at least has medium corners and tail held high, right, which are at least usable. Like, they're still good skill hints. And she has fewer, well, I mean, great. Both of them are great skill hints if they're, you know, what if you're on a medium, or Tailhill Die is just always good, right? And she has Homestretch Haste, I guess, is something. And she has many fewer hints than Summer Maru. So the odds that you land on like one of these 3, 2, kind of, are a lot higher, right? And she also just a good stat stick, right? I don't think, not really as good of a stat stick. And she can give you corner recovery as well. Not as good of a stat stick as Summer Maru is, but again, I think I prefer cards giving me like useful skills more than being really, really good stat sticks. Mr. CB I was looking at right here. She is nice in that she gets, I believe, 1 and 1. Oh, no, 1 and 2. Yeah. She gets her full wit bonus at 1 LB, which is really good. Skill point bonus as well. Yeah. So she is a nice, like, you probably don't have to spark this to be useful. Right? And it's nice because Creek is very much like a get me to 3, honestly 4 LB or I'm kind of ass, right? Like 3 LB Creek gets that 15 initial friendship. Before this card is like unrunnable. I mean, it's not unrunnable, but it's like you bring it because you really need Maestro and like other stamina cards are kind of ass and you're like, Jesus fucking Christ, somebody save me. 0 initial friendship gauge, right? Yeah, yours gets better as you LB too, but you at least have a little bit. Even at 1 LB, you already have more than like 3 LB Creek, right? Now, this is an interesting banner. This is an interesting banner for sure. Is it better? Is it better than Fine Motion Summer Maru? You know what? In my head, I think I'm undervaluing Super Creek. I was mentioning this too in the Discord today. I think I'm undervaluing Super Creek in my head because she just hasn't been very needed for basically all of Alharu. But again, Rico is going away, right? Super Creek is probably... Super Creek is a better stamina card than Fine Motion is a wit card, probably because of her longevity. The thing is that wit cards are just consistently more useful than stamina cards, right? Like, every time, like, a long CM comes around, I'm going to be very happy that I have my MLB Creek, but that's like 1 in every 4 CMs or something, right? So she's like a better stamina card than Fine Mo is a wit card, but wit cards are so much better, at least right now, right? So, like, in my head, I out of all the cards used right now, Creek is the only one still used today. Yep. Even though Super Creek isn't the best stamina card anymore, she gets used currently in JP. She is power crept, but yeah, you know, I get you. She's still strong. I do get that. Like, I do definitely think that Creek is, like, she is in, I mean, she probably is in, like, secretly, if you ignore what typing they are, which is cheating, because obviously there's going to be a lot more speed and wit cards competing for those spots compared to, for like Kitasan and Fine Mo compared to the Super Creek, right? But if you ignore what typing they are, this probably is just the best card in the game, right? Like in the history of the game, it's like that or Kitasan. Like this card comes out and is best in slot, right? When she comes out, and is best in slot like forever, and is still really good forever. It's like her or Kitasan probably. Like she is on that Kitasan Black level though, right? She gives ramp up. Hashtag we got too used to It's On. Oh, It's On is gone too. Yeah, I mean firm conditions, corner recovery, obviously. Her hints are good. Am I fine? I mean, I think the argument here is not in you never make poll plans in a vacuum, right? I think the argument here is that I have an MLB nice nature. So like, while Fine Motion would still be really good to have, I definitely disagree with the idea of she gets power crept in 8 months and therefore you shouldn't pull on her. But for my own account, right now, right, for Pisces, I need a stamina card. I'm gonna run my 0 LB Super Creek, and I'm gonna be very sad about it, right? I would get a lot of, like, on these longs, I would get like, I don't have a better option. You know what I mean? I have not a better option, but I have, like, at least a replacement option in the MLB Nice Nature, and then, like, I can bring some SRs, like, you have, like, your main kind of carry wit card, right? It would be really great to have MLB Nice Nature and MLB Fine Motion, obviously, but, like, okay, man, fucking bust a credit card out. I could do that, but, again, because you have Nice Nature, you can run Kita plus Nice Nature, Fill with good race bonus and borrow Creek. I guess that's true. I guess that is true. I am thinking of the borrow slot being locked to Manafaka, but it's probably not true. Those extra stats are nice, but I'm gonna have to think about how much it actually hurts to not bring her. With borrowed Creek, you only need to find 20 race bonus, which is very easy, right? Very easy. Actually, he's 10 race bonus too. If I'm gonna borrow her throughout all of Mant, now obviously she'll still be good after that. Or not all of Mant, but whenever I need her, if I'm gonna borrow her, then it's always nice to free up the borrow slot though, right? It is always nice to have the ability to get something else. When is this banner? When is this banner? August 15th. This is post Mant anyway. Is that right? This is estimated to be at the end, by the end of Mant, in the beginning of where is Agnes Tachyon in late? Hello. Yeah. This is expected. This is post Mant anyway, so I guess it's not really a relevant consideration for Mant. I don't know, man. It's interesting. It's interesting. I do run end closers sometimes, you know? Like on longs. I run end closers. And in that case, Mr. CB, since you play pace, I'm surprised you're not bigger on Tachyon speed. What do you mean? I'm putting 60k in the banner. That is absolutely... What do you mean? I'm targeting this banner to fucking 3LB or MLB this card. When have I ever told you that I'm not... This is just like... This is static in the poll plan, right? This isn't going anywhere. I have Psychosis, my bad. Yeah. Like, this is not moving anywhere in the poll plan. I'm planning around this, right? The question is, what do I pull before and after this? But yeah, right now, on longs, I run ends. I usually run 1 or 2 late and 1 or 2 ends, right? Well, obviously, like, in combinations that up to 3. And in that case, Mr. CB is kind of insane, right? Because now, she's not just a good stat stick with good hints, but she also has, like, fucking anchors away, right? I am talking myself into it. This will be instead of Fine Motion Summer because you would be a good card, which sometimes becomes an amazing card, right? And Super Creek is just an amazing card. And I don't have a replacement for Super Creek. I don't have like right now I run fucking like the Tosin Jordan stamina card and I don't get a recovery out of it and I'm very sad. So like you, whereas I do have at least passable replacements for Fine Motion, and Soromaru is just no good for me. Yeah, man. I think the Foshin banner is way better than this unless you wanted to commit to end. You think it's way better? Why do you say that? Because like I think Fine Motion is a better card than Super Creek, but I think Mr. CB is a better card than Summermaru. I feel like it's, even if one of them is better, I feel like it comes out in the wash. Like, I feel like it's not, Foshin is just that card. I mean, I do run pace sometimes, which is nice, right? Creek's a borrow merchant. You think Creek is, I think Fine Motion is a better card than Creek, but I don't know if the gap is that cavernous. You having Speed Star is really nice, too. I do run pace. Especially on the shorter tracks, on, like, some miles and shit. I will often run pace. Sometimes on mediums, though mediums, at the very least, will be 2 lates, right? Fact of the matter is, Ramonwu kicks off a new bar for power and, like... Yes? Yes? I mean, not this banner. It will be this banner. There are 3 to 4 God cards that come so close after her. Yeah, so I have kind of stopped... Like, I have, so far, the furthest ahead I've looked, basically, has been this, like, Mr. CB banner, right? Which, at the time, 5 months ago, when I was making this poll plan, or something like that, was, like, looking almost a year in advance, right? Now it is not. Now it's only looking, like, 4 or 5 months in advance, which is probably not super prudent. Jungle Pockets, what do you do? I don't know why. I hate looking at cards like this. It's like, I genuinely find it easier to absorb the information. 3 speed bonus and 1 power bonus. I mean, that's damn good. No mood effect is kind of whatever. 10 TE, 35 initial power, bunch of initial friendship gauge, 65 pryos, nice. I mean, race bonus is good. They won't be quite as useful, but it's still good, obviously, even post-mats. Corner depth, slick surge, medium straightaways, corners, take the chance. What is take the chance? Late surger looking like towards the back. Oh, late race. Late surger slash pace surger. Acceleration skill. First half random. Oh, it's just like another. Okay. Remove the UI design from my Excel spreadsheet. Yeah. Witful end closer. You can stay in the back without rushing for the first 2/3 of the race. Your acceleration will increase in the. Oh wow, that's also nice. Rising passion. If you're in the middle of the pack during the first half of the late race, you get a slight speed boost. Weird. Odd. First half late race, you get a speed. Oh, current speed! Cool. My bad. I was like, huh? Oh, increases current speed. Oh, awesome. Oh, this is, wow. Yeah, no, that's valid, man. What's her gold skill? Surging Beats. What is this? Oh, it's the gold version of Rising Oh! Comes up before El Condor Pasta, so you can pull this and El Condor Pasta to basically do a loadout swap on your speed cards. Holy shit. That seems pretty good, man. No? Seems kind of good to a guy like me. Card seems kind of good. When is this? Where's that? Could you link that poll planner thing? I like the they had the dates listed in a way that I liked. December of this year expected. Thank you. I like the way it had like the timeline vertically like this. Estimated January 2027. They're very. I mean, I guess not very off, but it's like a month off here. They are a little bit in disagreement, right? Yeah, that's really nice. Yeah, and then Pasta comes out a few months after. I mean, Pasta's definitely in the poll plan too. I guess we can stop here. I guess, like, if I want to look roughly a year in advance, it will be stopping at poll on Pasta. Right? There's Rice Shower Wit or Fèvre Guts. Let's see. Let me scroll. It does take a while for you to get, yeah. Sounds of us. Nakayama Festa. Who cares? I'm going to ignore power cards. I love the size of this Haru fucking. Best in slot with medium long skills. What makes you so good? Yeah, so Ramonu is right there. Tokai Teo gives Professor of Curvature. You could really cash out. There aren't that many cards coming out for Woke Surge. You really cash out with a whale deck at the start of next year if you're satisfied with like Foshin and Tachyon. I mean, the problem is Foshin is like getting the Fine Mo is a little. Where is this Rice Shower Wit card you speak of? Is she not listed on here? She might not be listed on here. Doesn't mean she's not good though. Let's see. Let's. I don't fucking have the time for. You know what? Maybe we're not doing the tier list tomorrow. We're actually going to do it. Like we're actually going to. Where are you putting your crystals? I mean, I guess I have to fucking think about it. That's exactly the question. Is it not? I know you're saying like if you're not pulling on this banner, where are you putting your crystals? I know. The question is there a better option? And the answer is I don't know. What swayed me away from the Foshin Maru banner was that I can crystal and ticket her, and that is what I'll do. I mean, I have her at 0 LB. I think I have Creek at 1 LB right now. That is not where you look at support cards, believe it or not. Hello, Haru. I think I have Creek at 1 LB currently. And Fine Mo is 0, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. 0 on Fine Mo, 1 on Creek. You know what? Fuck it, man. We're talking about this literally all day tomorrow. I've decided. Fuck it. I'm gonna comb through this. From fucking like from the Tachyon banner onwards, basically. Because I think timeline stream, let's go. I think so. I think the Tachyon banner is probably the first thing I'm going to pull on heavily from today. Like starting now, I probably am not going to pull on anything very much except until this. So I'm gonna have a lot of shit left over if we do that, right? I'm gonna like we already have the budget for this, and they're gonna give us the free pulls on this too, right? So we already have like 20k over what we need right now. So we're gonna have like we're going to probably plan to pull quite aggressively after that. I'm probably gonna have like close to 100k by the time that shit rolls around, right? You get like, I mean, with the first, like, even outside of the first anniversary happening right now, it's probably gonna give us a lot of free carrots. You get like in the neighborhood of like 12k a month. I would have like 100k by then, excluding the fact that we're probably gonna get like fucking 10k from the anniversary. Maybe more? I don't know how many pulls they usually give out for shit like this, but... So we can probably plan to pull pretty aggressively afterwards. Which probably means I'm gonna end up pulling on that Summermaru Fine Motion banner. The Madman plays to see if we can fit in both of them. I remember seeing a JP post say they get 120k a year on free-to-play. Yeah, we get more than that for sure. Because we get about 50% more on all the time-limited carrots. Right? But it's not... That is not the total carrots income. It's a lot of it, though. Right? We probably get closer to like 160 or something, if I had to guess. Per year. Again, like on a relative, like ignoring developer, like I think it was when I did 12k a month, it was assuming like 500 in developer handouts or something like that. I think it was assuming like 500 in dev handouts, which is per month, which is usually on average way higher than that. Yeah. My nice nature is already MLB. Yeah. So I haven't leveled her up, which is kind of, look at this guy. So it probably, like, even just 12k per month gives you 144k. It's probably closer to, like, 160 if you factor in the fact that we probably get something close to... I mean, probably get, like, a 10 pull a month, roughly. If you average it out with, like, big celebrations and stuff, it's probably even more than that. But we probably get, like, a 10 pull a month from just dev handouts. Which would probably push you up to around that, like, 160, 170 even K mark sometimes. And this is also assuming, like, B rank club, things like this, right? By the time the Summermaru Foshin banner comes out, you'll have 2 LB crystals plus a first year free card ticket. This is the insane person strategy is, can we hit both? Right? Can I get like... Could I hit Super Creek CB and Fine Motion Summermaru? Is an interesting question to a guy like me. Could I put like 200 into both of them, or even like 400 into one of them and 200 into the other, depending on who I put the free resources into? You know, like I put like 200 into Fine Motion Summermaru because I'll put crystals and the ticket into her, so I'll just need the one copy, right? Tomorrow you can pull for Foshin, send an LB, and use a crystal, which puts your Foshin at 3 LB, which is like 95% of the power budget. Tomorrow? You mean the Kawakami Princess banner? What do you mean? Is she on a banner right now that I don't know about? You want the selector ticket? Wait, what do you mean tomorrow then? When you say tomorrow, what does that mean? Literally, how could I pull for Fine Motion right now? Kawakami Foshin? I'm not pulling on that. I know we would guarantee the MLB, I guess, but I would still prefer, like, I'm still not going to have, like, we would have to pull one copy of her within the 200 besides the pity to make that worth it, which could happen, but I don't want to. I think it would make you stronger now. It would, yes, that's right, because I would be spending carrots. That's what they do. If we don't pull... That's fair, I'm just lobbing ideas. If we don't pull a copy of Fine Motion and 200 before the pity, then this is not worth doing, basically. And I don't think I necessarily would like to take that risk too much. It's something to consider. It's something to consider. Because we do get the ticket very soon, right? The problem is Kawakami Princess is just so ass. You know what I mean? Like, if I don't pull a copy of Fine Motion and I pull a Kawakami Princess and I just threw 30k carrots kind of into the wind. I could have just spent them later for more value, and still I would have gotten to 3 LB Fine Motion around the same time, right? Really? Because you'd be at minimum 3 LB and 30 carrots with the selector ticket? How does that work? How does that work with her being at 0 LB right now? Minimum is we pity 1 copy and then we ticket, and that's 2 LB. The next crystal will be in like 4 months or something, right? Selector plus crystal. I mean, yeah, the next crystal will be like after Mant, or like the end of Mant or something like that. No, well, you probably get a crystal every like 3 to 4 months. You used your crystal. Yes, that's why she's MLB. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying, right? She was 3 LB. You remember from the banner? Oh, if I had, fair enough. Okay. Knowing what you thought, if I had the crystal, then yes, absolutely, that's a great idea. To just guaranteed pity a copy and get the 3LB for sure, right? But as of right now, it's still not a bad idea, but you are really gambling on pulling a copy of Fine Motion in that 200, right? Which is, hold. It's a pretty good chance, right? I think this is the odds on every given pull that you don't pull a Fine Motion, right? Is 99.25, right? Because it's a 0.75% chance that you pull the card, yeah? It's like, it's a good chance. It's not a bad chance, but 30k, I mean, maybe I'm being too precious with my carrots, but I am a very precious with my carrots boy. I'm a very conservative boy. Not IRL, thankfully, but with my carrots. I'm a very conservative boy. So I feel like while it's still nice, it's a risk that I'm not willing to take, I don't think. Now, if tomorrow we go for the pull plan and I'm like, I have everything I need to pull on everything I want, and I have like fucking 60k to spare or something, fuck it, right? Like if I get to El Condor Pasa and I'm like, and I find everything I want to pull on between now and Pasa, and I'm like, I have more carrots than I need, fuck it, right? Might as well try. But my guess is that probably, while I do have a lot of carrots already, my guess is that probably will not be true. But I couldn't tell you for sure, right? Do we get some free pulls on Fine Motion? The Fine Motion Kawakami Princess banner? Maybe. I think we get like, you get pulls on the Umas, don't you? We got like 3 pulls on Arden or something. I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out when it happens. You get like 6 on the support card banner, or on, because here so far the free pulls have been on the trainee banner, right? Do they swap over? I think so. Okay, sure. That's something. I mean, hey, I'll do those. If I pull Fine Motion on a single, we'll go to 200. Right? If I pull Fine Motion on a single, we'll go to 200 right then and there. But we'll see. It'll depend on the pull plan. It'll depend on what my carrot budget looks like. Me squeaks. Anyways, I'm gonna go. I'll have a lot of work to do, but I do have a little bit of work to do that I wanted to do at night here. So I'm going to leave you all. And tomorrow, we are probably going to, probably going to be timeline stream. Timeline and Excel spreadsheet scrolling stream. I hope you're excited. Listen, man, we don't even play, set up that Henry Handsome Carrot Calc Twin. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow, too. We don't even play the fucking video game when we can build aces. We can't even build aces right now, okay? I mean, Aquarius, I guess, but I'm happy enough with my team. We can't even build Aquarius Cup or Pisces Cup aces right now. Anyway, so yes, we'll be doing UMA financial advice tomorrow. Have fun. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Go out, hug your mom or something, or someone else who matters to you. Tell them you love them. Embed yourself in a community so the government can't fucking kill you and send you to a concentration camp. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow for some spreadsheet time. Peace. Beep.